from Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside of my partner, Shanley legend Mr. Geoffrey, as we get set for North Dakota high school softball action as the Shanley Deacons get ready to take on the Grand Forks Central Knights. Well, folks, it is a gorgeous day for some softball here after a spring that has not brought too nice a weather. The Shanley Deacons just getting ready to play only their second game of this season. The Grand Forks Central Knights, meanwhile, getting ready to play their first. Finally, though, we've got some sun, some nice temperatures, just a great day for softball, and it gets even better because, Mr. Geoffrey, I'm so glad to be joining you on the mic today.
Well, thank you, Jed. This has been kind of a dream come true, being able to talk with you on the air on legendary Shanley TV. Beautiful, beautiful day out today. 57 degrees on the field. It really is going to be a wonderful day for softball.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, down on that field, it's 57 right now, but when you get down there, it's usually a good deal warmer from that reflecting sun. These girls are really happy to have that, as it has not been too nice. Their game Tuesday, which they dropped to Valley City, was not a very nice one, so they're really happy to be able to wear those short sleeves today, not have to keep those warm-ups on. And that first pitch is going to start things off as Gabby Nelson tosses a ball to start things off. Now, an interesting situation at pitcher right now. Gabby Nelson has not pitched competitively since she was about 12 years old, I'm told. But she is filling in today. Ingrid Swanson, the typical starter, not out there. Not quite sure what the reason is there. Perhaps just looking for a little bit of a change. Swanson looked pretty strong in their debut against Valley City Tuesday. Had her hiccups, though. Coaching staff might just be, seeing what they've got in Nelson here early in the season.
Well, Nelson also explained that she's a bit nervous about today's game, but she will get the cobwebs dusted off here. Hasn't pitched since age 12, but she's a good player, so she should be able to knock a few things in there.
Absolutely, just a real good all-around athlete. And like you said, I think there will definitely be some cobwebs there. But
there's a strike.
Yeah, and that first strike I think is going to be really good for her confidence. It might be a bit of a tough adjustment here in the first inning, but I think we'll definitely see some improvement as the game goes on.
We have, strike two.
Yeah, that's going to be foul back. Should get a full count here, 2-3, or 3-2. Can never remember which way it goes. But anyway, we got a full count here. Nelson already looking to be improving right now. So it's a bit of a different lineup with Nelson on the mound and not Swanson. There's a couple other changes with Nelson off first as she puts that one just outside for ball number 4, so she will walk her first batter. Just about had her, though. So some positives and some negatives on that first go for Nelson.
Yeah, we have our next batter up, and in play for a double play here. So let's see what she can do.
Yeah, got Haley Giroux right now, just a freshman. See what she can do up against Nelson, the junior. Nelson typically playing first base for the Shanley Deacons. Of course, she's over here pitching, so a couple adjustments. Kinley Kuhneman is out there right now, starting at second, I believe, for the Deacons. They've had to rearrange a few things. Schanzenbach is shifted over to first as that bunt is going to go back foul. But Kuhneman, just an 8th grader, is now in the starting lineup at second base. And that's a pretty big adjustment here for the Deacons, putting that 8th grader in. They've also got a 7th grader playing in Lucian. She's a starting shortstop you see out there. So that infield, pretty young right now. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for the Deacons. A 7th and an 8th grader. We'll see what they can do, though. See if they can step up here.
Yeah, we're seeing kind of a young team out there right now. Nelson herself is a junior. I'm not sure how many seniors we have on the team right now.
It is actually just two, Mr. Geoffrey, Ingrid Swanson and Hope Rober. Now, they're both starters, but, to only have 2 senior starters, that's a very tough position to be in.
Yeah, and, but that does give us some hope for the future. Looks like we have quite a few people on the JV roster as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a big youth movement for the Deacons as the runner will advance to second here for the Knights. So a good situation right now for Grand Forks. So far, no outs, 3-2 count right now.
Nelson looks in.
Nelson taking a bit of time on this one. She's been going at a pretty fast pace so far, as that's a big swing, and that's going to be a strikeout for Nelson.
There we go. That's our first. That'll give her some confidence.
Yeah, for sure. At first, just waiting to get that first strike was the big thing, but now to get a strikeout pretty quick into this game, that's got to feel real good.
Number 10 batting. That's a strike. Strike one for Nelson. Looks like she's got her groove on.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Taylor Ellingson at the plate now, one of the seniors for this Grand Forks Central team. We talked about the youth for Shanley, but Grand Forks Central, they got quite a few seniors on that team, a lot of juniors as well. Only 3 underclassmen, and they're all freshmen, although 2 of them do see significant playing time in Haley Giroux and Paige Carlson.
Now, do you know how they are stacked up for the season?
Well, they haven't really played a game yet, as that one is going to be a short little blooper that Nelson picks up, and that'll be Ellingson advancing to first. Now runners on first and third with 1 out.
They do have one. They do have one person in scoring position right now. That would be. I can't read the number from here, Jed.
That's Madison Herbeck, Mr. Geffrey. But,
okay,
yeah, you're right. They've got Herbeck right there on third in a good spot. Central looking pretty strong so far to start, as there goes Ellingson. She'll make it to second. Doesn't even have to slide, able to stay up on that one. And right now, Grand Forks Central's really doing their damage with the base running. We saw Herbeck steal her way to second, and now Ellingson just did the same thing. And part of that, really could be the youth right there. You got an 8th grader starting at second base and a 7th grader at shortstop. That's really kind of leaving the middle of the field exposed right now.
There's a strike there from Nelson. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Yeah, it's another good strike there for Gabby Nelson. It was a rocky start, 3 straight balls, but so far, since then, she's looked really good, looking like she's been doing this for, her whole life. Obviously, it's been a while since she's pitched, but she's just one of those girls, a real natural athlete, does a good job being able to just kind of step into any role she's asked to play.
Yeah, this is an important strikeout here. If we can get this strikeout, we can make sure to kind of hold. Okay, we got right back to Nelson. Oh, we had a drop, and number 8 scores, and so does number 10.
Yeah, Ellingson and Herbeck make it home, but an aggressive move there as Kuntz is going to be thrown out at second. So a bit of a chaotic play there to take you through it. So Kuntz gets the hit. Obviously, it looked like Nelson was going to make the play at first, but that ball goes right in and out of the glove of Krista Schanzenbach. She's just a 9th grader who's filling in at first base, a position usually played by Nelson. So while that was all going down, it was Herbeck and Ellingson who were able to make it home. Then Shanley was able to salvage one nice thing out of that play. They do get the out at second, able to throw out Cassidy Kuntz. Still, though, not a great spot to be in as they let 2 runners score. Now 2 outs with McKenna Erickson up to bat.
It is. They're showing their youth, showing some cobwebs from not being able to start earlier in the season. Number of canceled games. I know the girls were anxious, chomping at the bit to get out here and play. So finally getting out here, they're just knocking off a few cobwebs.
Yeah, absolutely. Just their second game here as Nelson puts that one into the turf. And my apologies, that's actually Bailey Jagger up to bat, 13, not 17. But interesting for Grand Forks Central here, up 2-0, looking pretty strong, and this is their first game. Obviously, Shanley only played one more than them on Tuesday, so not a huge difference, but still being able to get that one game under your belt, you'd think would give them the edge, but so far Central has looked really ready to play here.
Yeah, they definitely come out ready to run the bases. We've got, what is our count?
It's 2-1 right now, yeah, with 2 outs.
Okay.
And the thing to point out, though, with Shanley, on Tuesday we saw them get a really slow start against Valley City, so maybe not shocking to see them start off a little slow here, as that's going to be a walk.
Must have been 3-1.
Yeah, our bad on the count there. But yeah, so Shanley, slow starts, kind of been the story of the season, although we're only just barely into the second game of the year, so hard to really say if that's an actual trend or if it's just kind of a fluke here in the first 2 games.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to say there, Jed.
Long top of the first here as that one's going to be hit back and just about grabbed there by Lucian. Could not get to it, though, so now we got runners on first and second. It'll only be a single, but it keeps the inning going here for Central. And this top of the first has been just dragging on for the Knights. They've been hanging around here with 2 outs for a while now. They did a lot of damage with 1 earlier. They're just looking really strong right now, not going anywhere.
Well, it wasn't a strong hit, but it was right. It was placed just right, out of the reach of every player. They dove for it, just came out of the reach, but they were able to keep runners at first and second, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. It looked like Lucian had a chance to catch that one out, but when she didn't make the grab, I think the concern was that might have been a double instead of a single. They did a good job, though, getting back and keeping runners, like you said, at first and second. And again, kind of an odd spot for that ball. It looked like it was going to go foul, and then it fell in just the perfect spot. Not much better placement on a single than you got right there.
Yeah, here comes the pitch. In the dirt. Nobody moving. We have 1-1, 2 out.
Yeah, Nelson has had a couple low here. Really nothing too bad, though. We've seen a few wild ones, but again, that's really to be expected when you're in the kind of situation she's in. She is a lefty. That is something to note as she winds up on this one. Looks like it'll be a little high for another ball. And Mr. Jeffrey, I got to be honest with you. I'm not sure if left-handed and right-hand this matters as much in softball as it does baseball, although Swanson is a righty for what it's worth.
I actually am not sure either for fast pitch softball. I know for slow pitch, which I've played, it's not that big a deal. Although putting a spin on the ball, it does get it to come rise up underneath your chin a little better if you're throwing left-handed and you're pitching against a right-handed pitcher or hitter.
All right, well, certainly something to know. Didn't know you had experience, Mr. Jeffrey. Glad someone here does. I haven't played.
Oh, and we got to strike out.
That's a good way to end the inning for Nelson there. That's going to be your second strikeout of the game. Along it, top of the first there for the Deacons, but a good way to end it. Only giving up 2 runs, I think you probably would rather obviously have 0. I think you probably aren't really happy with that start as Grand Forks Central hasn't played a game yet, but still 2 runs given up with a pitcher who hasn't pitched in a few years. It's a fairly strong start for the Deacons and obviously a good start for Central.
Well, we had 2 left on base as well, so there could have been quite a bit more, and we did have a throw out as well. So I think stopping the bleeding right there was about the best they could do.
Absolutely. That's a good way to put it, just kind of stopping the bleeding like you said. Left those runners on. Grand Forks Central definitely wishing they could have done some damage there. Again, solid base running, though, from the Knights, and we saw that from Valley City on Tuesday. They did a lot of damage. They ran smart, and they ran fast when they got going, and Central looks to be a similar team in that regard. But now this will be interesting here. Grand Forks Central coming out on defense. They, again, have not played a game this season. It'll be exciting to see what they do. Courtney Giroux is going to be the pitcher, it appears. She's a junior for them. And, again, a pretty veteran lineup. They've got a lot of juniors and seniors, just 3 underclassmen, only 2 of which really play.
It looks like she's a pretty experienced pitcher. She's got a nice flick to her rise ball there, so we'll see how it all turns out.
We saw when the Deacons played Valley City on Tuesday, a strong start for the Highliners defensively, good pitching to begin, but so often in softball, not quite as much as you see in baseball. Your pitchers are good for 3 or 5 good innings, and then towards the end they can start to waver. Swanson stayed in there all 7 for the Deacons. Highliners made a change after 5. It'll be interesting to see what Central's got. They don't have very many listed pitchers on their roster, so perhaps they don't have a ton of options. We'll see that as the game goes on. It's Elena Linster in the box here for the Deacons. She's the leadoff batter. She's been in that position for the last few years. Linster, of course, known for her base running abilities and killer speed. She just really wants to get on base and then do her damage there.
We had a errant pitch there, so we got 1-1. The Linster looks like she is getting ready here.
She often shows bunt, especially at the very beginning of the game, although not right now as she clocks that one. That might be over the fence. Oh, just short. She's going to round first.
She's digging for third.
Yep, going for the triple here, and she'll make it.
Nice hit. Really nice hit there.
She just got a hold of that one. I thought it was gone, Mr. Geffrey. It dropped just maybe a foot in front of that fence.
You know, if we had had just a bit of North Dakota breeze on that one it could have gone over.
No kidding. And you saw the base running ability there as she rounded second. She made the call, came to third. And, it was going to be close, but an error was made at second that allowed her to get to third no problem. Cassidy Kuntz was coming over from that shortstop position as this one is popped up, and Kuntz will make the grab. Here goes Linster, though, headed home, and she'll make it after that one sails past the catcher. So an early run for the Deacons, and a huge one at that.
A good challenge of the center fielder there. Linster challenged her throwing ability and came out on top.
That's a really good start for Shanley, Mr. Geffrey. They had a ton of trouble getting their offense moving against Valley City on Tuesday. It took them a good 3 or 4 innings before they really looked comfortable. That's just huge to get on the scoreboard so early, as this one's knocked deep into left field, and that's going to be good for a single here from Schanzenbach.
That is a fantastic start to the season so far. First 3 batters, everybody has a hit. We did have one that was caught in center field, but everybody put a bat on the ball. That is a good percentage going on.
No doubt about it. So Krista Schanzenbach on first, only 1 out here for the Deacons, and now Gabby Nelson is up. Arguably the Deacons' best hitter, certainly one of them. She and Swanson combined to do a lot of damage batting-wise. But Nelson, obviously one of their better players. She's committed to play softball at St. Cloud State University. She made that commitment prior to this season beginning, and that should really tell you, the caliber player they got in Nelson.
Yeah, she's been looking forward to going to play D2 ball at St. Cloud.
Low pitch here. Nelson lets it go. Schanzenbach really itching to get off first. Has not seen an opportunity yet.
She's got a good. Well, I guess you can't have a lead in softball, but she's got a good eye for the pitch. And here comes the pitch.
This one going to be knocked by Nelson, foul to the right.
She was looking for the right line and just knocked it foul.
Giroux, not a great start to this one so far. I think she's stabilized a bit since that flurry of hits to start things off for the Deacons, but Giroux certainly wishing she could have started this one off on a bit of a different note. It'd be huge for her if she could retire Nelson here, one of the Deacons' best batters.
Yeah, 3-1 though. It's going to be a good pitch coming up here. Watch for Nelson taking this one down the line.
Giroux takes her time on this one. The windup lets it go, and Nelson takes a chop at it, and it's going to fly way foul behind her. And you called it. Nelson was really looking to knock one out here, and Giroux kind of floated it high. I think Nelson thought it was just going to be a straight fastball down the middle, and that led to her fouling it back.
Yeah, we've got a 3-2 count here. 1 out, though. Still a good position for our base runner. Needs to watch where it hit, though.
Nelson lets that one go, and that's a good call there from the veteran.
Got batters at first and second base now. We got a good chance at getting back that second point and making it even up again.
Absolutely, and now Hope Rober is at the plate, one of just 2 seniors on this Deacon team. Obviously great to be in this situation and having one of your only seniors batting.
Yeah, Hope is also a great asset on the trap team. She has an unorthodox kind of stance, but she hits them. It's good to have her on the trap team as well.
Yeah, that's another spring sport that Rober plays in. A lot of Shanley athletes and a lot of athletes in North Dakota doing that now, doing some trap shooting along with their spring sport. Really grown in popularity.
Yes, it certainly has. We have nearly 80 people on the trap team right now, 6th grade through 12th grade. It's a real benefit to our school.
And that's going to be another high one there from Giroux. Rober letting a lot of these go.
2-1.
still only one out here for the Deacons with runners on first and second. We are still only in the bottom of the first. It was a really long top of the first, and the Deacons are making this bottom go pretty fast or slow too, as that one is going to be fielded very nicely. Well, maybe not too nicely, but she gets the job done. Cassidy Kuntz made the grab. It looked like she lost it for a second, but throws out Schanzenbach at third, and you could see Kuntz there almost lost it, but just got back to it.
Yeah, it was sharply hit right at the shortstop. If she had not been in the position she was, I would have gone right past her, but she was right in the right spot and got hit right to her. So 2 out, and still looking to get that second run.
It's Teresa Weigel at the plate now, as that first pitch is going to be into the dirt for ball number 1.
Yeah, Teresa's a sophomore, and she's one of the youth that we have on the team. She's been playing softball for a little while, though.
Yeah, certainly. A lot of these girls play, 7th, 8th, 9th grade. And then obviously through the rest of their high school careers, they get a lot of good experience in those middle school years, though. And Weigel had a pair of really nice catches from her right field position on Tuesday. Made some great defensive plays. Not too much noise on offense, but it's a young season yet. As that one is going to be caught, and that'll end the inning. A great play made by the catcher, and a promising inning comes to a bit of a premature end there for the Deacons as Erickson catches that foul.
Well, they were able to get one back on that, so 2-1 is not a bad place to start. Let's see how the defense can settle down and keep it going.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Geffrey, should be a fun rest of this game. Still got 6 more innings to go. It's a 2-1 lead for Grand Forks Central after 1. We'll be right back after this brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, Ed's Marine and Storage, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Kochman Brothers Homes, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Shields, and TCI Insurance.
Good afternoon and welcome back to softball action here on Shanley TV. We got a good one going here between the Shanley Deacons and the Grand Forks Central Knights. It's a 2-1 lead for the Knights after 1 inning, a real competitive game going on so far. Mr. Geffrey, your thoughts after 1 inning of play?
Well, we don't have much of a pitching duel right now. Pitchers are still kind of settling down, getting into their groove, but the offense has been fantastic so far.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun to watch. Certainly, I think the highlight got to be Linster's hit there in the bottom of the first. She really raked one into right field. Thought it was over the fence, came up just a hair short, but a great power hit from a girl not necessarily known for her power.
Well, and, to get the triple is the hardest to get in the cycle, so might as well get that one out of the way right away.
Absolutely. Some lofty expectations there. Nelson on the windup. That'll go just a hair high. So 2 high balls here from Nelson to start off the inning.
Okay, well, she's still settling down. She's bringing it down, though, and I see her looking in right now. And the pitch.
And that one going to be high once again. Like you said, though, she is still settling in, and we saw her do this to start off the game. She had 3 balls right away with the first batter, just about came back and retired her. Ended up with the walk, but still, we've seen Nelson almost work her way out of a jam like this.
And with the pitch.
Another high one.
Another high. So we got 4 balls.
Yeah, and they're all kind of in that same spot there, so something to watch here. The one thing you don't want to see, sometimes, when a pitcher's putting them all in the same spot, you see a bit of an overcorrection, and so you go from a lot of high balls to a lot of ones in the dirt. We'll see how Nelson responds, though.
Yeah, she just needs to put one right where she needs it, so get to the shortstop with the double play here.
And showing bunt from the get-go that time was Taya Johnson. Doesn't work for her that time. We'll see what she does now going
she
forward.
bunted that one out of bounds, and I think she was trying to challenge the catcher's arm. We'll see what happens here. Showing bunt.
Yeah, once again, and just right away she shows bunt, and nothing happening though. Base running wise, still stuck on first.
She pulls back, so we have 1-1 right now.
Nelson sizes this one up, lets it go. That one's going to be a hair low. And still Central, they're being very aggressive in their base running right now.
Who do we have at first base for the Knights?
You know, Mr. Giffrey, I could tell you if I could see that number. So none. We'll see here if I can catch it as she takes another big lead. I believe it's Molly McEnroe.
McEnroe has been. She looks like she is really wanting to get to second base. She's had very large leads after each pitch. We'll see what in a 3-1 what ends up coming out. Okay.
Yeah, nothing that time. Big swing, though, from Taya Johnson. She tried the bunt the first few times, and then all of a sudden just comes up with a big swing. Fouls it back, though, so now we got a full count here. And, yeah, like you said, McEnroe just itching to get off first. But all the base runners have been for Central. It's been a very aggressive strategy.
The Nelson is settled in.
And let's see how they field this one, as McEnroe is going to be caught at second, so it will be a single, although McEnroe gets caught out. So overall, a successful series of play there for Shanley.
Yeah, hit to the shortstop. Nice little blooper there. A little bit of a handle problem with the second baseman, so couldn't get the play over to first, but good to get the second base out and keep the runner at first.
Herbeck now at the plate as that one goes high. It'll be interesting to see here if Johnson is as aggressive as McEnroe, because like I said, pretty much all those base runners have been really wanting to get off first. They relax a little once they get to second, but they really try to get in the scoring position. So 1 out so far, 1-0 count. Got another ball here.
Nelson is looking in. She's taking a deep breath. I think she's still a little nervous about her position at pitcher.
And there's a strike for her, so that should help.
That was a good pitch right there.
And you saw Taya Johnson almost got caught there on first. She kind of walked her way back to first after looking to take off to second. And everybody kind of looked around just to make sure she was safe. They made the right call, she was, but a little closer than I think she meant for that to be, as this one's going to be popped way up into the air. And the grab is going to be made, so that's going to be an out as Herbeck has that foul ball caught, and a nice play made there for Shanley by Maddie Remke, the 10th grader.
Yeah, Maddie had a good throw down to first base as well. Try and keep the runner at first base a little honest.
As Nelson lets that one go for a strike.
We have, looks like the Deacons are finally starting to settle down into defense. They're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, they're fielding very strong. Nelson's getting better pitching-wise, just kind of stabilized a little bit, although that one is going to make contact with the batter. Giroux takes that one into the side. That's an unfortunate slip up there for Nelson. She was really kind of getting into it, it felt like. That's just a tough one.
Yeah, you know, and that's a tough one.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. There's just no other way to really put it. You see wild pitches. Sometimes they just go wild in the wrong direction, and that's what happened that time. So 2 base runners, first and second, but 2 outs. So manageable situation here.
Yes, the runners were looking like they were going to try a double steal, but I'm not sure that's a smart idea.
And that one just about made its way past Remke. They were really looking to go, and I'd agree with you. You know, a double steal's a little too aggressive for my taste, but Grand Forks just not backing down at all. It's only their first game of the season, but they have come out and really challenged Shanley here. They're really making them, stay back watching the bases. Nelson's got to be careful here and make sure no one's taken off.
I think that Remke has had a heck of a game so far. She's catching a new pitcher, and she's been able to corral most of the pitches. She just had one that went past her in the first inning that allowed a runner pass, but so far she's been able to keep in front of her.
And just like that, the old Shanley TV jinx comes into play as Remke lets that one go. And I was going to agree with you too, Mr. Geffrey. I mean, when you've got a team that runs so aggressively on the bases, the responsibility really seems to fall on the catcher. And she had been up until that point almost perfect, and then you saw that one just get its way past. That was all Grand Forks needed to get this to advance everyone. So now they've got bases loaded with 2 outs, and this is going to be a huge series here for Shanley. It's going to be really tough. Nelson, obviously the green pitcher, in a tough spot. We'll see how she responds to some adversity.
Definitely. Who do we have up for at bat?
We've got Cassidy Kuntz, the shortstop, another senior here for the Knights.
Shortstop, senior from the Knights. She took that one, looking in for the sign right now, steps in.
And the thing you really don't want to do here if you're Nelson, you really want to try and avoid the walk, because nothing stings more than just walking a run right home. As she lets that one go for a strike.
There we go. I was going to say that one looked really good, and it sounded really good in the glove as well.
Nelson taking a little bit of time. Really wants to think these pitches through. She knows how crucial they are. That one looked a hair high, and that will be the call.
2-1.
It's tense for the second inning, Mr.
Oh,
Geffrey.
No kidding. You can cut the tension, especially with 3 people on base and a pretty good hitter at bat.
And now, just as you said that, a pretty good hitter indeed. She clocks that one. Linster's going to field it. We've got a runner home already. Make that 2 and make that 3. It'll be a double as 3 runs score for Grand Forks. Oh, man. Almost the perfect situation there for the Knights. A grand slam would have been nice, but I think they'll take 3 runs that time.
Hey, a base-clearing double is nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely.
That jinx you mentioned, I wonder if that isn't coming true double today.
Yeah, no kidding. And that is just a great hit that time from Kuntz. Another one that looked like it might have had the power to make it over the fence. Didn't quite get there, but still ended up just being a great hit for Kuntz. It was well fielded. Linster got to it, but by the time the Deacons got that in, those runners were well home. Central's got a lot of speed on this roster, and Kuntz, once again, looking for the steal.
Bailey Jagger at bat. She's 1-1 now. Swung at a high one and then took the next pitch.
Jagger, Jr. Nelson with the windup and a low one gets past Remke, and Kuntz will take third. She was looking at home there for a second, but she'll back up and make the smart play.
Yeah, she was looking for where the throw was going to go and if the throw was going to come her way or not. And just smart base running, stayed back on third base.
So Nelson going to look to get out of this inning. Just really wants this one over, as you would imagine. And there's a big swing. That'll help her out.
It looks like Jagger likes the high ones.
Yeah, certainly noticed that as well. She's been really looking at those. We'll see if Nelson picks up on that. Puts another one high, and Nelson
very good.
Saw it just like you did, Mr. Geffrey, and she's able to get out of the inning, although certainly not unscathed. That's a tough one for the Deacons. It started off strong, but they now find themselves down 1-5. This is going to be a pretty big response here coming on offense. They're not at the best part of their order, but there's an opportunity here. If they can just get 1 or 2 runs, I think that'd be really big for them going forward.
I think they having the pitcher as well has a little bit of a problem in the first inning. If she settles down, then we'll be in trouble, but we'll see how it turns out here. Everybody else has had some pretty good luck with the pitcher so far, so we'll see how the girls respond.
Yeah, this will be a huge inning for Courtney Giroux, as you were saying there, the pitcher. She had a tough first, like you were saying, so this is going to be really big for her, see if she can settle down a bit. And folks, while we have a little break here, we do want to take a minute to remind you, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media, get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV, follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV, and follow us on Instagram, again, at ShanleyTV. So, both teams getting warmed up here. A couple of practice swings there for Lucian, the 7th grader, coming up to the plate. She faced a lot of tough situations in that game on Tuesday, a lot of 2-out spots, a lot of full counts, and she looked pretty darn good in those situations, showing some real maturity for a 7th grader. She takes a big swing here to start things off. That's a nice strike to get if you're Courtney Giroux.
She has... Lucian had a nice cut at that one. She was just a bit behind.
Giroux this time puts it into the dirt. That'll even things up. We got a 1-1 count now.
Yeah, usually you want to throw kind of when you get a strike, you don't want to throw a good meatball down the pike, but that one was a little bit low.
And now a nice hit for Lucian off the glove of Giroux. Going to try to make it to first. She will not, though. A nice play made by the second baseman.
Yeah, they went right off the pitcher's glove and landed right behind her, but the second baseman was sprinting up and was able to make the throw to first base.
Yeah, it was Molly McEnroe got there in a nick of time. Lucian just about had it. Would have been a nice hit there for the Deacons to get that leadoff single. Won't happen, though, as this pitch goes high.
Well, having that hitting is still a good thing. We haven't had a strikeout yet, and that's going to be a benefit to us as we get later in the game.
And there's a hit right into the turf. We'll see if it's enough, and that throw's going to miss. Cannot connect at first. Jagger couldn't get to it. And
it looked like she was going to be able to pull that one up off the turf, but just a bit short, and the glove just too much of a hole in there.
Yeah, Herbeck put that one a little bit low. It was a tough grab to make. Like you said, though, I thought Jagger had it. Just took a bounce past her. That's a good hit that time for, I believe, Ari Schmidt. She's not listed on the varsity roster, but that's number 16 out there. And the only 16 on Shanley is Ari Schmidt. So, a nice hit for the 8th grader.
We have Kinley Kuhneman right now at bat, also an 8th grader.
Yeah, and she gets the call-up today with Ingrid Swanson not playing, that senior. Obviously, with Nelson pitching, that moved a lot of things around, and now Schmidt's going to take off to second after an errant pitch.
That was good base running by the Deacons there.
Yeah, for sure, and that you're going to have that with the way Grand Forks is managing their base runners. Shanley's going to have to contend in that department as well, as Kuhneman's going to get a hit here, but she'll be caught out at first. Schmidt advances to third, and now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs here for the Deacons. Look who's up to bat. It's Linster. She clocked one to start things off. Let's see if she can do it again.
This would be a good hit to get, Jed. We need to get that run in and just get some more offense on the board.
For sure. I think there's a big mental difference between being down 4 runs and being down 3. Linster lets that one go. Will be a strike.
It wasn't her pitch, Jed.
Agreed. Giroux takes a little time here. Winds up Linster chops at it. Nice grab by Giroux. Bounces, though. Second time we've seen it happen. Linster going to play aggressive, and it's going to pay off. She'll make it to second, so a great double there for Elena Linster, and Schmidt makes it home to make this a 3-run deficit. Yeah,
it's good just to put the ball into play because it's looking like the Knights are still a little rusty. Their throws are a little short, and we've been able to capitalize.
So now Remke, the catcher, up to bat. Lets that one go for a ball.
We've got a good chance here. We've got our better hitters coming up from the top of the lineup.
Yeah, for sure. Schanzenbach and Nelson right here behind Remke. Remke gets a hold of it. It works its way past 2 defenders. Linster rounding third, headed home, and she'll make it. Long throw goes over the head of the catcher. That'll turn this into a double. Remke threatens for just a second, but heads on back. And things are going real well for both teams offensively now. It's just a 2-run deficit for the Deacons.
Hey, with the a two-out bump in our offense, this is the way the Twins usually play, too.
Yeah, Shanley looking really good right now. Like you said, 2 outs here hanging on the board. They're not letting that get to them. They're playing aggressive, and Schanzenbach will let that one go as Remke is threatening from second. Schanzenbach had a nice hit in the first inning. We'll see if she can duplicate that success here.
Schanzenbach, a freshman at Shanley.
Yeah, just another one of those young players. Remke right now on second is a sophomore, and she's part of a very large sophomore class that plays varsity for the Deacons. That's a really nice class that I think in the next year or two is going to do some real damage. Schanzenbach lets another one go. This will be a strike.
2-1. That pitch, it was coming in a little low. Probably not what she was looking for.
Yeah, I think that was a wise one to let go, obviously hoping it maybe dipped a bit lower. As she lets another low one go, this time it will be a ball.
Well, she's going to be looking for a good pitch now. 3-1 with 2 out and runner in scoring position. Look for a good hit here.
Yeah, this is definitely a situation where you want to swing. We'll see if Giroux gives her something, and Schanzenbach takes a big swing. Giroux probably knew that was coming.
She had a pretty good swing. She was just a little behind on that one.
So, full count now, 2 outs. A little bit of pressure on right now. Giroux with the windup, lets it go. Schanzenbach gets the hit. It finds another hole, and here we go. A little bit of a slip there. Remke's going to make it home. Schanzenbach looking for third. She backs off. It was a close call, but they're just happy to get Remke home. And did you see that rounding third? She lost her footing, and if that throw had connected with the catcher, that could have been bad for the Deacons.
It looked like she was caught. But, again, the Deacons are challenging the throws, challenging the catches, and coming out on top.
And now a great situation with Gabby Nelson at the plate. Again, one of, if not their best batters. And she clocks this one down into left field. It will go foul by just a hair.
Yeah, she tried to push that one and just caught it a slight push on that one, got it to go out of bounds. That would have put her at second base for sure if that had stayed in bounds.
And this is a real tough spot mentally for Courtney Giroux. The Deacons have been playing well with 2 outs for a while now, and she's just got to be thinking, she's just really trying to get out of the inning. It's a lot like what Nelson had going on in the top of the second.
Yeah, she's been throwing the balls in there, but the defense has been a little lacking and been kind of letting her down a little bit. It is one of those situations you start looking as a pitcher. When your defense is down, you start trying to make plays on your own, and then you make mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. That defense, like you said, just has not quite been there. A lot of those throws into home have been over the head of the catcher, and that's given Shanley some great opportunities. As now Schanzenbach takes off for third, and they'll call her safe. And so a great pickup there for the Deacons. A risky play there by Schanzenbach. Let's get a look at that replay.
Yeah, she was close. She thought that the ball had gone into the dirt a little bit more, and The catcher picked it up pretty cleanly and had a pretty good throw, but it was a little high to be able to get the tag down.
And Herbeck just a little late there getting the tag. Nelson going to try to make it to first as Schanzenbach makes it home, and they'll call her safe.
That was a good run there.
Yeah.
She was able to beat out that throw, and if she had not done that, we wouldn't have gotten the tie game now, 5-5.
Can you believe that? You know, I thought there was a good chance Deacons would put up 1 or 2 here. I really didn't think they would get it tied in such a short amount of time. The offense has just been coming in bunches here.
And this is it's a good thing for that we have an opportunity now to even take the lead. We don't have anybody in scoring position, but Nelson is definitely an athlete. She will make it so.
And Hope Rober now at the plate. Rober, just a really smart batter, I think in large part because of all the years she's been playing softball. She does not swing at much. She only swings at what she really thinks is hittable, as Nelson's going to pick up a base here and make it to second.
Yeah, just as I had said, able to get down to second base and put herself in a good scoring position to give Shanley a lead. Hope just needs to put the bat on the ball and put it into play.
1-0 count now, still 2 outs, and that's the thing that really stings here for Grand Forks. They've been sitting at 2 outs for so long, and that's just really frustrating as a team.
That was a good pitch there, though, to put the count at 1-1.
Yeah, for sure. Giroux been a little inconsistent here, but she's had some nice ones like that. Rober again doesn't swing it a ton as she lets that one go. Another good call. It goes high, makes it a 2-1 count.
Oh, she stepped out, and now she's looking in.
Drew again taking her time here. She slowed the pace a little bit. Maybe just trying to cool down this momentum for Shanley as she puts that one low. I think that we clearly off on the count there as Rober's going to take her base. And she was walked on Tuesday as well. She has shown a real ability to make just great calls on those pitches. She really seems to have a pretty good idea where they're headed, and you saw that there. Did not swing it much, and it paid off.
Oh, that pitch was high. Pitcher is definitely feeling the stress of this inning.
Yeah, this has just been a really tough inning on Giroux, both mentally and physically. Obviously, giving up a lot more than you'd want to mentally and physically. She's just been out there for a long time. A little bit of fatigue in the arm, perhaps.
Yeah, and mentally, too. When you start trying to make plays on your own, not depending on your teammates, it starts getting just wearing on you.
Weigel puts this one right into Giroux. She makes the throw at first, and so the Deacons leave 2 on base. I think they'll take that, though, given the success they had in the rest of the inning. A huge 4-run inning for Shanley.
Definitely a huge huge inning for them. You get back 5-5. At 5-1, they were looking. It was looking pretty bad, but now at 5-5, they're back in the game. Just need to get Nelson settled down again and get a strike or two so that we can get back in the defensive swing.
I think this is really going to come down to which pitcher settles in first and who can just kind of reach that level of consistency they're both looking for. Because they've shown flashes. We've seen some real nice pitches from Nelson and Giroux, but there have just been a few too many wild ones for both of them. I think whoever can get into a groove here is going to give their team a really good shot to win this game because the defense just is not there right now.
Yeah, I think just like with Giroux, Nelson was trying to do a little too much in the last inning and just was not getting the pitches. Now she has an opportunity to just settle down and pitch her game and throw some balls in there and let her defense back her up.
Absolutely, and this Shanley defense has stiffened a little bit here. I think they've been fielding better as this game has gone on. So?
Okay, we're getting ready. You get ready for the first pitch.
Yeah, Nelson just takes a couple more here.
Good throw down to second base for practice there.
Got to save some for the game, though.
Yeah.
Again, just a really critical inning here, I think, for both teams. I think this might decide if this is going to continue being a shootout or if they finally get some defense going. Obviously, you wouldn't think they can continue this pace up here, 5 runs apiece already in the top of the third. Softball is only a 7-inning game, of course. But we'll see. I mean, it could end up just being one of those double-digit games for both teams. Certainly, it seems to be the track they're on as of now.
Well, it is certainly a beautiful day outside. Great day for softball. Temperature might be just a bit cold for some of the ladies, but definitely everybody in short sleeves.
Nelson's first pitch, going to be a ball, a little low. Number 2 on its way. Nice connection there. Rober, though, grabs it and gets the throw to first.
Nice play. That's the way to settle a team down.
Absolutely. Rober makes a good throw, and I think that's a huge grab for Schanzenbach because we saw her earlier opportunity. She let the ball go right in and out of her glove. That time she makes a good grab. A little bit of a tricky ball, kind of went outside there towards the end. That's just great for everyone on that Shanley defense.
Yeah, being able to get that first out underneath your belt, get those pitches down, and being able to keep your pitch count down helps to settle the whole team down.
A tough break there for McKenna Erickson. Looked like that hit might be going somewhere for a minute, but again, good play to get the out. So, at the plate, it is Paige Carlson. Designated player here for Grand Forks. A little bit of an error there for Remke. Won't matter with no one on base, but something to watch.
We got 2 balls and no strikes at this point. Nelson looking in, though.
Nelson steps up, takes a minute there. Looking down the batter, now she'll wind up, and she puts one high. So, looks like we were off on the count again. Just off by 1, and that'll be a base taken for Paige Carlson. She gets the walk.
Yeah, it looks like we need to get a clicker up here.
So, Gabby Nelson now stepping up. Tough walk there. Not quite the start she wants. Got one out already, though, as that one's going to be a bunt here from McEnroe. The throw from Remke, it's a bit wild. And going home here, Deacons got to watch out. The play looks like it's made at home. She's out, although McEnroe will advance to second. That's a huge play for the Deacon defense as Carlson is caught trying to make it home.
Yeah, definitely back to their aggressive base running. That was very aggressive right there. They were really challenging the players there, and the Deacons showed up and played some D.
And it almost worked. I actually thought that was going to work there for a second, but luckily for Shanley, Carlson gets caught at the last second. Dangerous thing, though, here with McEnroe. She's a real speedster. She was really aggressive her first time on base, and I would not expect anything different from her.
Well, again, Remke makes the play there. I think that she's having the game of the day so far.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Other than just a couple slip-ups, she's looked really strong. And like you said, catching from a new pitcher, too, that's always really tough.
Yeah, and, at this level, you're going to expect a couple of bobbles here and there, but being able to make those critical catches, a critical out, looking to take the lead, they were able to get that out at a critical position.
So Nelson puts that one high. 3-1 count. 2 outs so far. Nelson with the windup.
Johnson for Grand Forks takes the walk.
Ty Johnson going to take her base that time, and now Johnson and McEnroe on first and second. Bit of a tough spot here. Herbeck at the plate now, the third baseman.
I hear Herbeck, and I always think the twin.
I thought that name sounded familiar.
Yeah, the longtime twin first baseman, but Herbeck had fewer vowels in his name than this Herbeck does.
That was going to bug me all day. I knew that name from somewhere. So this Herbeck fouls that one straight back over the cage. Still 5-5 our score. 2 outs, 1-1 count.
critical pitch here.
Nelson picking up the pace a bit. She puts that one high. Most pitchers, usually they tend to be a little faster. They tend to be a little slower. They adapt to the situation. Nelson so far has really not quite decided on a pace she wants to play at. It's been very situational for her. Right now she's pressing it a bit. And in those higher pressure situations, we've seen her pick up the pace a bit, almost like she just wants to hurry up and get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And that time it works as she does pick up the strike.
Yeah, that was a good strike for her.
Big pitch. It's going to be high, so full count now.
Well, she's been throwing some junk balls, but I think the junk ball she's throwing is a little bit high. If she can just get those down just a bit, she can maybe get a couple of those batters to chase those high ones.
So, crucial pitch. It's going to be hit right into the turf. Can they make the play at first? Quick throw there from Kuhnman, and they do. Huge defensive stand there for the Deacons.
Nice inning for the Deacons there. That was a good defensive stand. It was a good position to be in, being able to take care of the dangerous situation with scorers in running position. They're looking really good, Jed.
Yeah, they seem to be settling down, and now Grand Forks Central is going to have that opportunity as well. They've got a good chance here to try and stop the bleeding, respond with a defensive stand of their own. It's going to be tough, though. Shanley's been batting really well. I think the difference, I'd argue Shanley's maybe been batting a bit better, but I think it's been Central's base running that's really set them apart and made them the powerhouse they have been on offense in this game.
Yeah, we had the Grand Forks has had a lot of really solid base running. Couple of errors in the last inning prevented them from taking the lead, but the hitting of the Deacons, though, I think could be a critical point in this inning, Jed.
No doubt about it. And no doubt I think that this inning is going to be the biggest for Courtney Giroux. It's been really an up and down first and second. This third inning, I think, will really tell us what she's capable of. We saw Nelson with another up and down inning, a little bit better, I think, though, in that third. Certainly her defense was better. The big thing for Giroux is will her defense step up like the Shanley defense did for Nelson?
Yeah, and I think that really helps settle a pitcher down into the game when your defense is there for you.
For sure, it's nice to feel like you have that security blanket behind you as we've got a nice big swing here from Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian was a bit behind on that one. It looked like a good pitch, but she just was not quite up to speed on that one.
Second pitch real high that time to even up the count.
Yeah, it looked like she was trying to take a page out of Nelson's book and throw a high junk ball, but just a little high.
She's picked up the pace a tad as Lucian swings again. Kind of likes that high ball. We've seen her chase one or two of those.
Yeah, she definitely was looking to hit that one quite a ways. She was looking to knock that one down the left-hand field.
And now this one's going to be popped up for a high foul right behind.
Yeah, chasing that high one again. I would expect to see another high pitch here, Jed.
Yeah, it's been working well for Giroux. We'll see if Lucian can wise up here. I would expect her to maybe sit back on this next pitch, see what she gets. And we predicted high, and of course it goes into the turf.
Well, when you're at this level, sometimes you just miss the pitch. But that also may have been a strategic miss.
Yeah, it certainly does keep Lucian guessing as she gets that one through the glove of Giroux, and she'll make it to first. That's a tough break for Giroux. I thought she had that one. Herbeck was also over there to clean it up. The throw was just a little late and a little off.
That ball right there just spun right out of the pitcher's hands. Not sure that could have been fielded any cleaner. Had some good backup there from the shortstop, but that was a bloop hit right there.
Yeah, that is true. That had some wicked spin on it. I did not see that till the replay, and you're right. That was a tough ball to track if you're a night defender.
We got 16 at bat. On our schedule, that's Ari Schmidt. I do not think that's Ari Schmidt, though.
Yeah, I was going to say not quite sure that one.
Oh, second base?
Yeah, look at this. She's got an opportunity for third, although a good grab made by the center fielder. That could have been a lot worse, but Haley Giroux Not to be confused with Courtney. Drew, the pitcher, makes a great play to keep Lucian from going any further.
Yeah, there was a wild pitch there, and smart base running by the Shanley Deacon.
So, the pitch from Drew to the unnamed Shanley batter. Our apologies to whoever is out there. We'll see if we can get someone on that up here, perhaps find out.
Yeah, we got like 20 people on staff here, and nobody's going to check it out. So
that's typical. So, been at the plate a little while here. Drew, got to be aware of an aggressive base runner right now in Lucian. Shown some real guts for a 7th grader, not afraid to take off from first that time. She really wanted to push it to third, but again, it was cleaned up very nicely by the center fielder, Haley Drew. A nice hit here, although it looks like she's going to be tagged out, and that will be the case. A very good out for Central. They needed that, although Lucian makes it to third.
That right there was just the same as a bunt that was hit straight down the right line, right-hand field, right-hand line, and she was able to keep the ball at first base, which allowed the base runner to make it to third.
Right, and like you said, it's basically a bunt, so pretty much just a sacrifice bunt that time for the Deacons, able to advance Lucian into scoring position. So not quite as good of an out as I initially thought there. I mean, it's still good for the Knights to get one, although you do wish you could have kept Lucian off third.
Yeah, the advancing the runner there, playing a little small ball for Shanley High School is exactly what they need to do now.
And now Kuhneman with a nice hit. Looks like she'll get caught out, but Lucian makes it home, and Shanley will take that. They're very glad to pick up the run here.
Yeah, they made the choice. Second base made the I can't remember what that's called. The thrower's choice to first base and allowed the runner to score. So now we got a score of 5-6.
And we saw how much damage Shanley did with 2 outs last inning as Linster gets a hold of another one. It's going to be a bit shorter. Can they make the grab? No. It drops just before the fence. Linster playing aggressive. She's going to make it to third. It's close, and she's safe. What a triple from Linster.
That right there was a very close play. If that ball had been any closer, that would to the catch, that would have been an out. But Linster was able to slide in head first and get her hand just underneath the tag.
And it is really tough to blame the Central defense there. They had a lot of trouble getting balls from the outfield to the infield earlier. It was a pretty good throw from the left fielder that time, making the throw. That was Carlson, I believe, but there's not much more you can do. It was just a hair off target. Herbeck just about got there, but Linster just a little too fast.
Yeah, that ball was way up in the...
Remke with the hit, but it's a throw out at first, so Linster's triple for nothing. A very nice recovery from Grand Forks.
That right there was a tremendously good play. It was sharply hit to third base. The third baseman cleanly picked it up and got it to first base, and it looked just like they had done that every day of their life.
Yeah, Madison Herbeck with the great throw, and that Knight defense looked a lot better in that inning. You know, it's like we talked about, they were going to have to step up, especially for the sake of Drew's confidence, and I think they really showed some improvement in that inning.
Yeah, but the damage is done. Shanley takes the lead, and we're at the top of the fourth.
Yep, critical inning coming up here. We'll see if GFC can respond. Didn't score in that third. Certainly going to be looking to change that in this inning. And while we've got some dead time, Mr. Geffrey, did you know, on this day in sports history, in 1897, the first Boston Marathon was won by John J. McDermott with a time of 2 hours, 55 minutes, and 10 seconds.
Wow, almost 3 hours. And now we're working on the 2-hour marathon.
No kidding.
The 2-hour marathon, that's always been the wish of my daughter. I'm not a runner myself, but Juliet, she's with the cross-country team. She really loves that cross-country. Shanley's cross-country team has been very, very good this year. And over the past few years have really improved their running, the girls especially.
Think we got any 2 hour miles coming out of that group?
That is going to be that would be a real challenge, I think. But
Pretty tall order.
For the girls, yes, that would be a really tall order. But never say never.
Absolutely. Nobody thought the 4-minute mile was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
4 minute or 3 minute? 4 minute, yeah. All right, so Nelson's first pitch is going to be a ball. It's Haley Giroux up to bat. She made a nice play defensively in the bottom of the third, and now Nelson drops that one in front.
Going to make a correction for you there, Jed. That first pitch was actually a strike.
Oh, my bad, yeah. Sorry, that's a good catch there. So 1-1, make that 2-1 now the count.
Nelson's been throwing a couple of junk balls. She got ahead on the count, and now she's a little bit, she's even up 2-1.
Yeah, it was a faster inning last time for the Deacons. The defense really stepped up. Nelson looked stronger too, though, and now she's able to force a swing here out of Giroux.
That was a good pitch right there. That Giroux was just way ahead of that one, and was able to. Nelson was able to get a good strike on that one.
Yeah, Nelson's had a lot of nice pitches that have. She's had a lot of nice ones mixed in with some tough, wild ones like that one you saw there. And I think that just speaks to the athletic ability, but then you factor in the fact that she hasn't pitched competitively since she was 12. I think there's a lot of potential there. It's just tough when it's been so long since you've had to do it, in a game situation.
Yeah, and being as she's probably their only pitcher right now, it would be kind of a tough situation to be in if she had to be taken out of the game.
Right, and you're right. They aren't extremely deep at that pitcher spot. Callie Schanzenbach is an option at pitcher, although I'm not sure. I haven't seen her today, so I'm not actually sure if she's available. And so you might be right. Nelson might actually be the only pitcher on this team right now, as that's going to be a base there for Haley Giroux. She makes it to second. And, calling Nelson the only pitcher on this team is quite the statement when this is her first game pitching. So Shanley a little thin right now at that spot.
Yeah, we did have a walk from number one, Giroux. She was able to take a walk. And now we have number 10.
Yeah, that's going to be Taylor Ellingson, and she had some success earlier in this game. Giroux, just another one of these great base runners for the Knights, already stolen second.
Yeah, and we had almost a third base there, but that again was saved by the catcher, Remke. She was able to keep that ball from going errant and putting a person at third base.
Yeah, Remke continues to track these balls really well.
And that, I think, has kept the Deacons in a little bit better of a position. There is a rabbit out near center field that looks like a dog.
I was just about to say that. That has got to be the biggest rabbit maybe I've ever seen. I don't know if our cameras can get that. It's now ducked behind a bench, but holy moly. That took my eyes off the game for a minute there. I thought that was a dog.
We've got another walk. So we've got a batter at first and second with no out. Nelson, a little bit of trouble here.
And look at that. We got the camera. Look at the size of that rabbit. I don't know if you guys can get a sense for how big that is at home, but that thing is huge. Just a giant rabbit there. Again, got some great softball going on, though. And, boy, that was crazy.
The Knights still looking to be aggressive on the bases.
Yeah, as Nelson puts that one a little high, we've got runners at first and second now. Still 6-5 lead for the Deacons, but they've got no outs right now, and that is not a great spot to be in here with two runners on.
Yeah, Nelson is, I think, feeling a little bit. There was a good pitch for it was a ball, but still a much better pitch than the previous one.
Absolutely, yeah. And if she could get a strikeout here, even just any sort of out, I think would be very nice for her mentally. Relieve some of the pressure. That's not going to be the case. This one might be gone, and it is a home run for the Knights to take the lead. 3 runners will head home, and that is huge for him.
Yeah, that ball just jumped off her bat. That was gone almost from the instant it made it over the center fielder's head. There was almost no chance of getting that one.
That thing was well over the fence. Someone might want to check on that rabbit because it was coming in hot.
Yeah, I think it scared the rabbit off. It's gone now.
And here's the thing. There's still no outs. That's the really tough thing for Shanley. Grand Forks Central just continues to have a lot of success at the plate here, and no pressure on them right now as they still have nobody out. Bailey Jagger now batting.
In situations like this, when you get one of those home runs, the pitcher just wants to get back into it, and basically you want to start the inning over and ignore all the rest of the runs because you have nobody on base, and you can just start your pitching over again.
And she is upping the pace here once again. She's really shown a tendency to do that in some of these tighter spots or after a tough hit like that. And it's really worked for her quite well. When she's picked up the pace, things have gone fairly well. So that might be something she just wants to
Yeah, I think maybe
doing.
she just wants to get the game going a little bit because then she doesn't have to think about it as much.
Exactly.
And when you get in your own head, that is really a dangerous position for a pitcher.
And there's a big swing, and how about a strikeout to help her out, mentally and obviously in this inning. They pick up an out. She gets a strikeout. Very nice.
That was the third K we got from Nelson, all swinging. Good pitch there. The dark one, as they say in slow pitch.
Now we pause here for a minute. Is that ball that was clocked out over the fence a few minutes ago returns into play.
Yeah, we got to use those balls again. We're not like the pros where we can just let those go.
That is not a souvenir. So, McKenna Erickson now batting. She was caught out her last trip. Central up 2 now. Things really changed in a hurry after that home run.
Yeah, that was a three-run swing there. That really changes the dynamic. It's up.
Could be a nice play here, and it is. Remke makes the grab. It moved on her a little bit in the glove, but she's able to hang on.
All right, so we've got 2 out, and again, it's like we're resetting the inning. We've got 1 out to go. We'll see how Nelson handles this one.
It is Paige Carlson batting, designated player here for the Knights. Nelson takes a little time to size her up. Lets this one go, and it's low. Corralled by Remke.
Yeah, that one just missed. It was a little bit low, but those kinds of pitches are the kind that you want to throw. See if you can get somebody chasing something out of the strike zone.
Nelson now, maybe an overcorrection there.
Yeah, that was a bit of an overcorrection on that one.
Haven't seen too much of that out of her, which is pretty good for a green pitcher. Oftentimes you see those big overcorrections if you've got put one low time before, you put it high the next time. So far she's done a good job of not doing that though, as she puts another one high here.
Yeah, there's the old Shanley TV curse coming in again.
Kidding. So
it's not just Shanley TV though that affects.
That's an old, I think most broadcasters know how that one feels, as now Nelson is going to walk Carlson. Probably not what she was looking for there, fresh off the strikeout, hoping to carry that momentum. Still, though, just a runner on first, 2 outs, a good opportunity here with McEnroe. McEnroe, though, has done a really good job getting on base in this game. Here's a pitch from Nelson. McEnroe will let that one go.
Beautiful pitch there. Went right in, right at the knees. Just caught her looking.
Yeah, very nice strike there for Nelson. She winds up again. It's a little low, and Remke couldn't get a hold of it, so Carlson will advance to second. Tough break there.
Again, aggressive base running from the Knights, but On that one, I think my 8-year-old son could have made that one. That one was a pretty easy bet.
Yeah, that's a tough break for Remke. She's been solid most of the afternoon, but yeah, sometimes you just have those that get by you. And Nelson gonna put that one high.
McEnroe looking for a good ball here.
Yeah, of all their runners, and here she goes to third, she'll get it. Oh, man, and that one goes past Rober. She's going to make it home on an error, and that's a real tough break for the Deacons. I mean, to give up the home run was one thing, but then to let another one slip by like that stings.
Yeah, that was not one of Remke's better throws, better plays of the game so far. She maybe made that decision a little bit late, and then tried to push the ball a little fast down there, and it went right past Rober. Settling back down, we've got 3-1.
Yeah, gotta get your mind off of what just happened and get back into it. McEnroe is gonna get the walk, and that's not great for the Deacons because she, we talk about how aggressive Grand Forks' base running has been, but of all their players, I think McEnroe has really been the most aggressive. She has just been pushing the pace all afternoon long. When she gets on base, she really makes you pay. And here's one that's hit nicely in between the shortstop and the second baseman. It'll just be a single.
Tay Johnson smacked that one right up the middle, and the Deacons played that one pretty well. They got it in. They kept the base runner at second base. But there was really nothing they could do about that except for play good defense.
Yeah, Lindster made a good run up there, able to control the damage. Obviously, you don't want the single to happen, but a good way of handling it. Shanley needs to get out of this inning. We've said that a few times, but this one especially has been tough on him.
Yeah, we have a similar inning as we had for Grand Forks in the third inning when they just could not control the bleeding. And there's a hit.
And it makes it just over the glove of Rober, and not much Lucian could do that time. She looked a couple directions, no opportunities, just gives it back to Nelson. And
that ball had some wicked googly moogly on that. That was just spinning like crazy. They were they were just lucky to be able to get a handle on that one, but it just went right over top the glove and landed right in front of the shortstop.
Yeah, it was just high enough to get over Rober, and then enough spin, like you said, to fall in front of Lucian. So another tough one, and here we go. Bases loaded. Haley Giroux at the plate. She lets that one go high for a ball.
Yeah, Haley Drew's in a position right here to really open this game up for Grand Forks Central. I know that Nelson is really working the pitch count. Good pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, that's a real nice one there for Nelson. 1-2 count now, 2 outs.
Expect a junk ball here. Jed, we're not going to get anything good to hit.
And that is the case.
Yes, there it is.
Really
nice
well
strikeout.
played.
Nice strikeout for Nelson.
That was a really, there's no great way to end that inning, but, that was really nice for her with the bases loaded in a tough spot to put that one up and get her to swing. That's a nice way to end a tough inning.
That's the fourth swinging K that we got for Nelson in this game. She's had a tough inning, a tough game so far, 9-6 in favor of the Knights.
Yeah, not what you want, but we've seen the Deacons explode for some big innings. This one could be just like, I think it was the second there where they put up 4 and tied the game. They were down 4 runs earlier, got it all back in one inning. They're only down 3 right now. So still a lot of opportunities here for the Deacons. And folks, at this time, we want to take a moment to tell you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join. So sign up today, the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level.
And as a Shanley teacher, I would like to thank the Shanley Athletic Club for all their support over the years. We really appreciate your support for the students and for Shanley Athletics.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Without them, well, simply put, we wouldn't be on the mic right now. So just a lot of thank yous to go around to them. Great organization.
Yes, thank you.
So that's going to be a ball to start things off here. Good spot in the order for the Deacons. Schanzenbach up to bat. She gets a hold of one. Just a little short. Going to be grabbed and thrown to first, but that'll be safe for Schanzenbach. A nice play made that time coming out of right field from coming from that second base position. She just was not able to get the throw off in time.
Yeah, that ball did not come off the bat very fast, and so it gave Schanzenbach a great opportunity to get down the line, and it puts Nelson in a good position to get somebody crossed into base running into scoring position.
Yeah, great part of the lineup here for the Deacons. Schanzenbach and Nelson. Nelson pops this one way up, though. It'll work its way into the crowd.
Yeah, she tried to pop that one down the left-hand line. I can see her trying to push it, and by pushing it, she pushed it just a bit high off the top of her bat.
So that will make it an 0-1 count. No outs here with Schanzenbach on first. Deacons trail by 3. Big swing there from Nelson. Goes back, and Schanzenbach will make it to second. Worked its way past the catcher that time.
Yeah, that was good base running by Schanzenbach there. She noticed that the catcher had missed the ball and was able to take advantage and put herself in scoring position.
Tough one for McKenna Erickson that time. I think it just kind of dropped on her at the last second, made its way behind. And now Nelson with a huge swing. This one's headed into left field, and it's just out of reach of Giroux. And so here comes Schanzenbach. She'll make it home, and Nelson will stay at second. So a big double from Gabby Nelson, and that'll get Schanzenbach home.
That right there was an excellent hit. She had just what she was trying to do when she pushed that one out of bounds in the first hit, but she was able to get that one over the head of left field and was able to get to second base.
Balls are just flying off the bats right now. No outs here. Rober in a good position. She lets that one go. Nelson threatens for third. Erickson watching her closely.
Yeah, Rober is a really patient hitter. She'll be looking for a good ball to hit here.
Yeah, absolutely. She just does not swing it much. And she's got a pretty good eye, too, as she lets that one go.
Nelson was looking to run there. She noticed the catcher had missed it, but was smart enough to be able to catch that the catcher had it in front of her.
Giroux winds up. Rober going to swing at it. Looks like it'll go foul, and that is the case.
Oh, she pushed that one down the right line, trying to get Nelson in, and that just missed.
Yeah, that was real close. If that could have stayed fair, that would have been a very tough ball there for the Knights.
Oh, yeah, that would have spun out of bounds, spun out, and would have made the right fielder run even further.
Yeah, that definitely, I think, could have gotten Nelson home, but coulda, woulda, shoulda. It ends up going foul. So it's a 3-1 count now here for Rober.
Expect a good pitch here. Rober will be looking for something to hit. Probably down the left field again. Or right field, sorry.
The pitch from Giroux. Rober lets it go. Nelson hanging there in between second and third. Rober will take her base. And now runners on first and second with no outs. The Deacons have already scored one. So far, a great response to a really rough inning defensively.
Okay, Teresa Weigel coming up here. Let's hope that she can knock off some dust that she's had the last couple times she's been up.
Weigel showing bunt that time. And now Shanley looking to do some aggressive base running of their own here.
Yeah, we've got a score of 9-7. They do need to get a couple of runs across, tie up this game.
Giroux lets it go. Weigel takes a swing.
She was just a bit behind on that one, but she was looking to push that one right down the right line as well.
Yeah, just a hair late that time.
Just
like
a
you
hair
said.
late.
It was close. And again, showing bunt, but it'll be tipped back foul.
Yeah, she's got to be careful on this one. She bunts this one out of bounds, she's out.
Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in here because Weigel really kind of favoring that bunt right now seems to be what she wants to do. And not their greatest hitter. She's been really strong for him defensively, but not their best hitter. So right now I think she's more looking to just kind of advance the base runners here, not so worried about getting on base herself. But here's a nice swing. Going to be grabbed, though. Opportunity for a double play. Won't happen. Nelson makes it to third. Weigel's at first, and Robers headed to the dugout.
That right there was just about through. Good play by the shortstop. Was able to get the runner at second base.
Another nice defensive play there for Grand Forks Central. They really struggled fielding in the first couple of innings, but they've looked a lot better here in the last few.
Lucian is up, and Lucian has been on fire for the Deacons.
Yeah, offensively and defensively, she's been really strong. As that one goes high, mishandled there by Erickson. Weigel was just a little late catching that one. She had an opportunity, but by the time she noticed, Erickson was back on top of it.
Yeah, she missed out on an opportunity on that one, but we'll see what Lucian can do with this.
Giroux lets it go. Erickson comes running right up. She's not letting anyone go anywhere right now.
A double steal right here might actually bring a person home. Nelson takes off. If Teresa takes off and then Nelson takes off for home.
And here's a nice hit fielded by Giroux, though. It's going to be a throw out at first. It will get Nelson home, though. Deacons will take that as they're one run closer to tying this thing up.
That advanced the runner. It was a fielder's choice on that one to first base. And Nelson was able to get home on that hit. I may have made a different decision on that one, but they wanted to get the out instead of trying to get somebody out at home plate.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there, but it's always a tough call down on the field as they make another nice play to end the inning. So the Deacons aren't able to tie it up, but still 2 runs is pretty good. The big question, though, is going to be defensively because they had a rough go of it last time. They just really had a lot of trouble, Nelson especially. Slipped up a little bit in that last inning, but we've seen some real good stuff from her. She could certainly come out strong here.
Yeah, the pitching has definitely improved from the Deacons. I know she's still nervous. When I talked to her in class, she was not looking forward to the day because she knows she's not a pitcher, but so far she's handled the pressure pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. Just been, it's so tough to come into this, as such a green pitcher, haven't done it much, but she's faced some really tough situations, and she's handled them, pretty well. Coming in here to a fresh inning, no runners on, a whole new slate, I think will be good for her. I think it was just a rough start to that last one. If she can get a batter down early, I think that'll be really good for her.
Yeah, the strikeout she had the out she had in the last inning was an excellent position to put herself, or 2 innings ago, put herself in good position. Last inning was a bit rough. Let's hope that she has forgotten all about that. And as a good athlete, forgetting your mistakes is really the key to being an even better athlete.
No doubt about it. Goalies, kickers, and pitchers got to have short memories.
That is very true. And corners as well.
Ah, very true, yeah. Most positions when you get down to it. And, someone just took a ground ball to the nose there in warm-ups. Doesn't look to be too bad, but that didn't look very pleasant down there.
No, I think that's Lucian.
Yeah, that would be a tough loss if that ended up being.
She's having to take a look at it. She might actually have a cut above her nose. Do we have anybody down in the field to be able to check that out?
I do not think we do, as we still haven't found out who number 16 is. Our staff's slacking a bit here.
Yes. 20 people around here, and nobody's going down to take care of it.
It doesn't look. My guess is they're just looking at a cut here because she was kind of holding maybe up by her cheek. Obviously, I have no idea. I don't want to speculate We'll see, though. That would be a really tough loss for him.
That would be a tough loss because Lucian has been just fantastic this game.
Exactly.
And offensively and defensively. And who would they put in that position, Jed?
Well, that's the thing. They're really thin right now. They've already rearranged their infield, pulling Nelson from first base to pitcher. They've got people just moved all around. The outfield's been able to remain intact, but that infield's a total, kind of patch job right now. So this is going to be tough. And, yeah, I just don't know. Lucian's just been money for him all game long. I can see her down there getting evaluated right now. So you really hope she's okay.
Yeah. Personally, we don't want to see any of the softball players get hurt. But there she comes back into the game, looking like she's got everything taken care of, looking good.
Yeah, I think they were probably just doing their due diligence there, just want to check her out and make sure there was nothing wrong there. It looked to be, it didn't look very fun. Didn't look like it was too hard, though. Luckily, it caught some turf before it, got up into her nose. So she's looking good to go. And it's a big inning here for the Deacons, trailing by 1. It was a rough go of it defensively in the 4th, but whole new inning.
Nelson started off really strong there with a great strike. What a way to start the inning.
For sure, that was a real nice pitch there. Number 2 is high, though, and we've seen a lot of that from her. She's had some real good strikes, and then the next pitch, it goes just a hair high.
Yeah, she might be overthinking these there, Jed. She when she just settles down and just pitches, she's been able to get it in there real nice, but then when she starts to overthink it, things start to go a little awry.
Yeah, I'd absolutely agree with that, and again, it's the mental aspect of pitching and being in the kind of situation she's in, just having not done it in such a long time.
Yeah, when I pitched for slow pitch, it was always those times that you miss the plate by just a little, that would just egg at you, and when you would miss it the next one and you couldn't get the pitch that you wanted. Those are the times that you start overthinking things and you start trying to play around with the ball. And the whole idea is settling down at this point and just pitching the ball.
Just such a mental thing, like you said. It's a real good point.
Yeah, see right there, she just settled down, pitched it in there, and she got a good strike on that one too.
It seems to be every 2 or 3 pitches she gets a really nice strike, and then the next few she just can't seem to settle down and get back into that spot.
Nice strike out there.
Yeah, that's really nice, like you said. That's huge for her to start this inning off with a strikeout.
She's had a rough game so far, but being able to get 5 strikeouts, and Shanley has not had a 1 yet. So, for not being a pitcher, she's been able to get a few strikeouts.
Absolutely, and I think it really speaks, like I said earlier, I think we've just seen so much potential from her. It's, I think, just the fact that she hasn't pitched in so long, as this one was almost tracked down, but it will end up going foul. Remke couldn't quite get to it. But again, I just think that shows how much potential she has as a pitcher, what a good athlete she is. It's just, the fact that she hasn't done it in so long.
Yeah. I'm not sure she'll be pitching for the D2 school. I think she's I think she's going there for her bat and for her, she plays shortstop or first base. She's probably going there for her fielding position, but being that she's such a good athlete, she, just like all our other good athletes we've had, been able to be very versatile. Roger Maris still holds the record for number of runbacks for touchdowns in kickoffs and punts.
I believe it's 5, or is it 4?
It was 4.
Okay, 4.
It's 4, and that hit went right up the center, and they were able to keep the runner at first base, but that she connected very well at that one.
Yeah, that was just a real nice hit there. Made really nice contact with the ball, and like you said, just shot its way up into that gap. And the Deacons have had a little trouble there with gap control. They've left a hole there right at second that Grand Forks has exploited a few times. Again, a big part of that, I think, is having the 7th and the 8th grader playing there. I will say, though, for most of this game, they've really gotten it under control. I've been impressed. Obviously, Lucian, we've talked a lot about. The 7th grader has just been fantastic, but Kuhneman as well coming in here, her first varsity game, an 8th grader. She's looked pretty strong. She's made some plays.
Is that Cassidy Kuntz over there at first base for running?
I do believe it is.
Yeah, she has been very aggressive. She just about got thrown out in the previous play, and she's really looking to move the bases along again. Shanley's been really good, though, about keeping her at first base. Watch for her to make a steal, though, here if there is any kind of a bobble.
Yeah, the Deacons have gotten a little better at defending against those aggressive base runners here as the game has gone on. And like you said, they almost caught Kuntz. Now here she goes to second. She's going to make it. And that grab not quite going to be made there by Lucian. Didn't matter. She was already there. But Kuntz, like you said, aggressive, and she can be when she's got that speed. Showed some real wheels there. Made it pretty quick.
Yeah, she decided she was stealing that base even before the bobble on the catcher. I think that's what maybe caused the bobble on the catcher. The catcher was just trying to get the ball out too quick.
And there she is showing again, looking for third. She's going to make the Deacons think.
3-2 with one out. Definitely, if she puts the bat on the ball, she will end up getting home.
And it's going to be a walk instead. Tough break there for the Deacons. Was a nice opportunity.
Yeah, that does, though, put the force back on third base. And we're pulling up number 17, Erickson. McKenna Erickson?
Yeah, that's Erickson, the catcher. She made some nice plays in that last inning. I guess not necessarily too many big plays, but she did a good job keeping those base runners in check. She got up and threatened a lot to try and throw them out.
How has she been batting? I'm not keeping track of that.
Erickson, we don't have official stats up here. She hasn't gotten on base quite as much as, McEnroe or Kuntz or, some of the names we've heard more often. But like most of this Grand Forks lineup, she's been there, and she's gotten she's made a lot of contact with the ball, and that's just, what Grand Forks has done all game long.
Yeah. The staff is not around again with the stats on the batters.
We're just giving them a real hard time, aren't we, Mr. Geffrey?
That's right.
Got to keep them in check up here. Maybe they should be keeping us in check as Nelson puts that one down low. Erickson wisely doesn't chase it. So now we got a 3-1 count here. A walk is really not what you want if you're Nelson. I'd load the bases here with just one out.
And with who coming up to bat?
It would go back to the top of the order, I think. Or maybe we're not quite to that point yet. I got to be honest, I'm not quite sure. Well, I guess we're going to find out as Erickson is going to advance to first. And now, it looks like we got Paige Carlson up here. So Carlson did some real damage last inning, able to get on and get home. She made it home on that error, the ball that went right past third base. She was just sitting there on third, and the throw to third. It was when she stole third, ball went past, and she was able to make it home.
Yeah.
And so we've seen her do some real damage if she can get on. But here with the bases loaded, let's see what she can do hitting-wise as that one goes high. Again, it's a one-run lead for Grand Forks. Deacons got two of them back.
Remke was able to corral that last one there. And, again, I'm really impressed with the way she's catching the game today with a pitcher that is just really green, able to keep the ball in front of her for the most part. She's had a couple of errors today, but, again, at this level, the kinds of errors that she could be having could have broken this game wide open.
Yeah, absolutely. And you saw another nice play she made there as this one takes a fortunate bounce off second for the Deacons, but it's still going to be two runners home for Grand Forks. An opportunity at first. Nelson wasn't quite sure where to go. I think she made the right call in the end, though. She just hangs on to it, doesn't want to do any more damage.
Yeah, that right there could have been real disaster if she had thrown it, and if there was a miss at first base, Didn't know if the first baseman was really ready for that one.
Yeah, it didn't really look like it.
So that could have put another person at home. I think that right there was the best they could have done in that situation.
And, it was a great line drive there from Carlson. It really took a fortunate bounce there for Shanley, though, as it hit second base and popped up. It was going to be going a lot further, as now Carlson's going to take off and get second. And safe at third still is Erickson.
That right there was a close play.
Very close.
Very close play. That could have gone either way. I think the ump got the second base ump.
Don't look at me for terminology.
Okay, sorry.
Call a lot of sports. I think anyone who's listened to me before knows softball not quite there with the lingo yet. I'm learning, though. I'm learning. And, that's one area we haven't talked about. There have been a few close calls that I think have been called very well today. The officiating, I think, has been really strong.
Yeah, and, we really appreciate the officials.
Oh, yeah.
Being able to do these games sometimes can be really difficult when you've got people yelling at you and everything. We appreciate very much these adults coming out and helping our kids with playing these games and learning something about good sportsmanship.
Absolutely, as that's a nice hit over Rober at third base. She's going to try to get back to third. Won't get there. Another run scores. And that is not what you want if you're Shanley. Still just one out. The Knights now up 12-8.
Yeah, the Shanley Deacons are looking a little bit stiff on that one. Couldn't get the handle on the ball on that one, and then finally when they did, just a little slow on the reactions there. I think they're just starting to get tired. Maybe the bat's just too much for them. At 12-8, that is a lot of offense.
It's a really lot of offense, especially in high school, and it's really unfortunate for Shanley having another inning kind of like the last one. You felt like if they could get it under control here, you just didn't want to have another big offensive inning like they did in the fourth, and unfortunately for them, that's what's happening here. Central's been at the plate for a long time, and they've been doing a lot of damage.
The bleeding is still going on.
And there's a nice hit for Ty Johnson. Rober going to try and make the throw. The out is there at first, but the runner scores to make it 13-8.
That right there was a good play, just to get it out on the books. This puts it to 2 outs, and they should be able to get this one done. Although the Knights have had some really good luck with 2 outs.
That's true. Shanley is what both teams have played really well in the 2-out situations, as this one's fouled back. If you recall, Shanley did a lot of their damage, I think it was in the second with those 2 outs. But like you said, Grand Forks has been just as effective there.
Yeah, Herbeck there chasing a high one again. She chases those high ones, and
there she goes after a lower one that finds its way through the defense. That's a huge hit. That might be a triple, maybe in the park. Herbeck is going to stay, so it's a stand-up triple there for Madison Herbeck, and that is going to extend the score even more.
Yeah, that right there was an excellent hit. That was right where she wanted it, and she put it right past the second baseman and right between the center and the right fielder. It was in the perfect place in the park.
And still 2 outs here. Up to bat is Haley Giroux. Nelson winds up Giroux with a big swing. That's a good strike. And go ahead.
I actually wasn't going to say anything, Jed.
Oh, okay. Well, Nelson. Well, now I got to think here. A big swing from Giroux. Jeez, now I've just lost it.
I can't believe I made the great Jed Thomas.
You left me
tongue-tied.
speechless. I didn't think it was possible. Everyone tells me. But just got to get back to the game. Another big swing from Giroux.
That was a huge
strikeout.
3-pitch strikeout. Nelson just probably decided it was time to be done with this inning and just threw some great strikes there.
Yeah, that was really quick, too. She retired Drew in a hurry in an inning that really
three
drug
pitches,
on.
3 strikes.
I mean, that was as good as it gets. Unfortunately, prior to that, they surrendered 5 runs in that inning. And Nelson at this point, she's really done, I think, as much as you can ask for someone who's pitching for their first time ever in high school. I think it really shows Shanley just does not have the depth there at pitcher today. I think we probably would have saw her go out a little earlier because she just seems to be really fatigued right now in that pitching spot. But I just don't think they really have anyone there to fill in. And so obviously Nelson done the best she can here. Not much you can ask out of a first baseman turned pitcher so quick. And hitting-wise, she's done fantastic. Nothing wrong there. But just a tough spot to be in if you're Shanley.
Yeah, Shanley being a smaller school, we do have, and even co-oping, we do have a pretty small varsity roster with only 3 pitchers on the varsity roster, and with a lot of people gone this week for the fine arts trip to Detroit. It does put some pressure on the teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Pretty sure that's where Schanzenbach is. I'm not quite sure where Swanson's at, but I haven't seen her either today, and that's unfortunate for Shanley because, there's 2 of your pitchers. I think that's your 1 and your 2 pitcher. Mm-hmm. So you've got Nelson out there who, again, is filled in admirably. It's just a really tough spot to be in, playing about as different a position as you can get, first base to pitcher.
Yeah, Kinley Kuhneman is they have her slated as a pitcher, but as an 8th grader, I'm
right.
not sure I would want to put her in that kind of a position.
Yeah, that would be – I was looking at that too because there aren't too many pitchers listed here. She's one of them, and Kuhneman's making her first varsity start, just in general. She's playing second today, and to ask her to pitch, like you said, would be a very tall order.
She's got a good position here, though, at 3-1. Expect a good pitch on this one.
And
yeah, she was taking the entire way. And 3-2.
That was a real nice pitch. Just kind of straight down. So now full count here for Kuhneman. She lets it go, and that will be a strikeout.
That is the first strikeout for the Knights. A strikeout looking. I think Kuhneman was looking for something a little different there.
Absolutely, and now Linster up to bat, and she's swinging at everything. As you see that one go foul, she really swung at a low one. It's hard to blame her, though, because everything she has hit has been gold. It's not taken many swings either. It's been the first few pitches that she's just sent flying today.
Yeah, Linster has really had a great game. A great game batting. She's had a great game for the Deacons.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, there's not much more you can say.
Oh, I know. I was trying to figure out something to say there, Jed.
We're just losing it here, aren't we?
Right.
We're just really starting to go. I think it was when we put the camera on the Jackrabbit that things really just started.
That's right.
But yeah, no, Linster's just been really effective. Like I've said, when she gets on base, she does even more damage because of that speed. She's got 2 triples already today. She's driven in a lot of runs. Just has done so much. And now here's another great hit. She might get thrown out here, though. Great play made that time by the shortstop, Cassidy Kuntz, just as we're talking about how great Linster's been. A great play made by Grand Forks Central to get her out.
Yeah, we've been able to take advantage of some bobbles by the Knights, but then they've come back and actually had some really good defensive plays. That was a really good one right there.
Yeah, in the earlier innings, I don't think you can necessarily blame Courtney Giroux for the offense that took place, because she wasn't really getting a lot of help from her defense. But now, as they've gotten better, she's gotten better with them, and they just keep getting better defensively.
There's a bobble.
Remke connects. She's going to get thrown out.
That was a 3-up, 3-down inning for the Knights. Those are the kinds of innings that you want to see a little bit earlier in the game, but now that it's near the end of the game, 6th inning, that right there is not a good sign for what's coming up next for the Deacons.
Yeah, that's got to be the fastest inning we've had. I mean, this has been a long game. It's been really long, drawn-out innings, and like you said, 3 up, 3 down. That was quick. Not great for Shanley. They really needed a response. It's going to take something big here on defense and then a big offensive turnaround as well.
Yeah, we need a 3 up, 3 down here, just like the Knights had.
That'll be tough. It's possible, though. I mean, we've seen, Nelson does have 5 strikeouts, and the defense looked pretty good behind her.
She has 6 strikeouts.
Oh, 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, the last one was 3 strikes in a row.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So she does have some capabilities, and in the last at bat, she showed that she was making serious business about getting ready for pitching. But
yeah, and she's got some momentum coming out of that too. Coming off that 3-pitch strikeout, that's got to feel pretty good. Hopefully, she can carry it over.
As long as she doesn't overthink it.
Right, and that's been the challenge of the day.
Yeah, the that fine arts trip is a real good chance for some of our kids to get out and do something a little bit beyond sports. Going to Detroit and experiencing some things outside of the comfort zone.
Yeah, absolutely. A great trip. Not great for the softball team, some
Definitely.
of these spring sports. But, yeah, absolutely. Good to see Fine Arts doing some fun stuff there, as now Nelson puts one down into the turf. Deacons trail by 6 right now, as that opening ball starts things off here in the top of the 6th.
We have at bat, we have Ellingson, Taylor Ellingson. And she's had a pretty good game today.
Yeah, not only batting, but from that center field spot. There were some struggles earlier, like we talked about. The defense wasn't quite there in the early going, but they've really improved, and Ellingson has held down that center spot really well.
She's looking in.
Backs off there as Nelson puts one right down the middle for a strike.
Yeah, that was a good pitch right there. It looked like Ellingson was going to be taking that one the whole way.
So 2-1 count now. Ellingson again going to back off as the pitch comes, and that one was a little high.
A little high at 3-1. Look for a pitch right down the pike here. Look for a good pitch to hit.
Yeah, going to be a good opportunity here for Ellingson. Like you said, is it going to stay fair? Yes, it will. Ellingson rounding first. She wasn't sure, and she will make it to second. No one was really quite sure there for a minute. You saw Ellingson pull up, but she does make it to second.
Yeah, Weigel couldn't quite get the handle on the ball there, and Ellingson was going to make it to second base anyway, but she was able to get it in and keep her from getting to third base.
Yeah, Weigel did do a good job corralling that one, as now this will be a quick out at first, although Ellingson will advance.
Good to get the out and get one on the books. It just helps with the psyche.
No doubt about it. Nelson, not quite the start she wants there with Ellingson getting the double, but like you said, a quick out's always nice as a pitcher. And now that one's a bit outside.
That was still a good-looking pitch, though, even though it was outside just a bit. It was right down the pike. She just brings it over a little bit. That would be a much those are looking like good pitches.
Sure was, as Nelson puts this one just a hair high now, so that will make it a 2-0 count. Still with one out and a run around third.
She just needs to keep it calm, keep it collected. She's still throwing good pitches. She just needs to make sure she doesn't overdo it.
And now that one's low to make it 3-0. Remke struggled with it for a second, but got back in time.
Yeah, one out. Look for a down the pike pitch here, and probably something good to hit.
Nelson with the windup.
There it is. She was taken the entire way, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a good strike there for Nelson. Makes it 3-1. See if she can dig herself out of a hole here. Pitch number 2 going to be fouled back. That's going to make it a full count.
Yeah, she fought back on that one. Jagger just got lucky to catch that one just a bit because that one was a bit high. She was lucky to catch that one even a little. There's a strikeout. Nice pitch.
That is just so huge for Nelson. It was right in there. That's strikeout number 7, I believe.
Number 7 and the first looking strikeout that she's had. She has that came at a critical juncture. And another strike there. It's looking like Nelson is getting right in the groove.
Yeah, if they could get out of this inning with no runs scored, knock on wood, but if they could get out of this inning with no runs scored, that'd be huge. Wow, just as I say that, they can't make the play as Ellingson gets home, and I feel somewhat personally responsible for that one.
Yeah,
Mr. Referee.
I'm going to blame you for that as well, because that was almost you were tempting fate.
Yeah,
with that
honestly,
one,
as I was saying it, I felt like I shouldn't be, and I mean that was just. Oof.
Yeah, you know. I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it.
So that's going to be number 15. So 15-8 the score now. Central's really opened things up here, and now it's Erickson at the bat. Another high pitch. Great grab, though, from Remke to pull it down.
Yeah, I think something got into her head, Nelson's head, and she had just a string of great pitches, and then suddenly the last 2 have been very high.
See if she can get that under control.
There's a good pitch.
Yeah, it is. Big swing there from Erickson.
She was able to pull that down just a bit and got Erickson chasing at something a little bad.
Still 2 outs here. Try and get out of this inning. Erickson puts it down into the turf. Nelson gets it under control. Oh, made a great throw, but an error at first. Schanzenbach couldn't get it under control. And a bit more conservative here as Erickson stays. Probably the right call there. Schanzenbach got back on top of that pretty quick.
Yeah, when you give a team a 4th out like that really takes you the wind out of your sail. You can see it on Nelson's face. She's a little bit disappointed with with her throw, although that was perfect. But being as she was at first base.
And a huge hit here that Linster's going to track down. Rounding third now is Erickson. The ball hits Erickson in the back. That won't matter, though, as she will make it to third. So there's a double for Paige Carlson.
Yeah, it's not dodgeball. You can't hit him in the back and get him out. Although, if you do get in the way of a throw on purpose, that will get you out. But if it hits you, it's not an out.
And so just another tough play there for the Deacons. A double gets Erickson to third. Still 2 outs, and boy, great work done here by Central at the 2-out mark. They've been really strong.
Yeah, Molly McEnroe at the plate. And McEnroe, that reminds me of a tennis player.
John McEnroe, and she can swing.
But great play at center field. To pull that one down. She is real happy about that play right there.
Yeah, that's a nice grab there by Linster. And Molly McEnroe, maybe a bit nicer out on the field than John McEnroe was in his day.
John McEnroe had a mouth on him. He would yell at the umps. He would yell at everybody.
I don't think that would stand here in high school softball.
No, I think that might be a problem.
But both John McEnroe and Molly McEnroe could really swing.
Yeah, that was a good hit, and just so happened that Linster was right there on it and was able to pull that one down with relative ease.
Little update here from some professional sports going on. 76ers and the Heat, 13-12 in favor of the Miami Heat right now with 6:32 left to go in the first quarter. And in hockey, it's a 1-1 game with 11 minutes left to go in the first between the Bruins and the Maple Leafs. There's a rivalry for you.
You know, and I always found it really interesting that basketball and hockey would end at the same time. You look outside, and it is brown grass everywhere. You don't see much snow anymore, and yet we're still playing hockey.
Yeah, that's always – and it goes till June is the thing now. Stanley Cup playoffs don't get done, so it feels a little weird. Still, though, I love to have those playoffs going on. Nice to have something when football's done.
Yeah, Yep. And for me, it's football is the thing I watch, and then everything else is just kind of peripheral. But
Yeah. Tuning in for the playoffs.
baseball, though, with the Twins coming up, going to watch them this summer. Go out to watch them at least once a year. It's fun to get to the stadium.
Yeah, it sure is. Nice facility down there. Always fun.
Almost as nice as the one we have here.
No kidding, yeah. It's been real nice in such a rough spring to have some nice turf to play on. That's just really nice to have.
Yeah, I know. The turf here is just fantastic. It was a great benefit from the founder of Stop and Go to donate this money for our turf. I know that we really appreciate it here and have taken great advantage of it over the years.
And, of course, the Hofer family gave a great deal of money as well. Hofer Family Field, as you referenced, the Shelley Ellig Athletic Complex, another great beneficiary as well. So a lot of generous people have made this field possible. A lot of great things at Shanley. And then, of course, there is the generous people at the Shanley Athletic Club. Folks, don't forget that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. Yeah, it's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level.
Krista Schatzenbach there taking the walk, no outs, putting Nelson in a good position to bring somebody around for a good base runner.
Absolutely, Schanzenbach gets the walk there as Nelson makes some contact on this one. Didn't get a hold of it, though, so she'll be thrown out at first. Schanzenbach does advance to second.
Yeah, Nelson's bat has been a little bit quiet today. She's, I don't know, maybe she's just being involved with every pitch has just tired her out a little bit. She caught that one at very slow, getting back to her bat. Don't know what the umpire was talking about there.
Yeah, well, it looks like Schanzenbach's going back to first. So, Mr. Geffrey, do you have that
okay.
one?
It hit the ball. The ball hit her leg as it came off, and that right there is then a strike, not a hit.
And now Schanzenbach will take off to second, so won't end up mattering too much. And, hey, we got to give some credit there to Chris Cadilick, a member of our crew. We've been giving him a tough time here, but he makes that catch. Found out why she did not get the base there. So, Chris, thank you very much.
Nice catch there, Chris. That gave Nelson another opportunity here.
And now Schanzenbach threatening to take third. She'll stay back wisely, though. Hey, while we're at it, we do want to thank all the members of our crew today. Also want to say thank you to Sarah LaFour and Alex Fettner running the cameras. Beautiful day to be running the cameras. It's not always the case, though, so thank you guys for doing that.
Oh, nice hit.
Nelson gets a hold of it, but it's going to be caught out in left field. A real tough break. That was a pretty ball that just did not quite find the right spot.
Yeah, if we had had the North Dakota breeze, we would have had something a little bit different. But good to challenge the Knight defense. They've been they've struggled a little bit with their defense, but that one they were able to come through.
And of course, the last members of our crew do want to thank my brother Gabe Thomas, always coming to help out. And, of course, Mr. Picard, math teacher by day, sports producer by night. He does it all. And now it looks like we had a throw out at first. Schanzenbach will make it to third. So Schanzenbach in scoring position comes at a price, though, as the Deacons now have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, playing a little small ball right now is not exactly what Shanley needs. They need a few more runners on the base, but whatever they can do, just to get some bats on the balls.
And now Weigel at the plate, as that one's going to go high.
Weigel struggled a little bit at the plate today. She's had a couple of real dribblers up the middle and right up to the pitcher. But it looks like the pitcher has not been able to keep the ball down for her. So she might be able to take advantage of a walk here.
Yeah, she might, like you said, good opportunity for her. Giroux's been putting them high here, and now she'll overcorrect and put that one a little low. Weigel, of course, just her first season starting, really getting much playing time. Just her second game here. It's a lot of members of this roster in their first year starting, and so this is really only their second varsity game for a lot of them.
Yeah, watch. Teresa will be taking this one the whole way. Yeah, at 3-0 and not having a good batting day. Better just to sit back. She might even be taking this one too.
Yeah, I'd agree. That was a wise call, and I wouldn't be shocked to see her do it again. Oh, she takes a big swing at it, though. It looked a little low, so maybe not the best swing.
That was a little low. That would have been the time to take that pitch.
Tough call, though.
Yes. Well, we've got 3-2, 2 out. Let's see what she can do with it.
Yeah, this is a tough spot here. Here's the pitch. Weigel does connect. It rolls down the third base line. The throw is made to first. She's caught out, and that ends the inning.
That was a good place to put it. As good a place as any. But, again, she had a little bit of a dribbler. She just struggling a little bit getting the ball, getting the bat, a good, solid swing on the ball.
Yeah, that really has been the case for her. Like you said, she's just had a few of those dribblers into the ground right in front of her. And so that will take us now to the top of the seventh. It is a 15-8 lead here for Grand Forks Central. They've really taken control here in the latter half of the game. Very tight throughout the first few and the middle innings. The difference really has just come defensively. As the game has gone on, Shanley, their defense has kind of fallen off a bit while Grand Forks has improved. And, for me, that's really been the difference maker so far.
Yeah, the last two innings for the Knights, they've settled way down and been able to keep control of the Deacons and their bats, and not been able. The Deacons have not been able to score the last two innings. They had a couple of good innings early, but now we've had real quiet innings for the last two.
Yeah, that's really been the case here, and for Grand Forks, not only have they continued to improve defensively, but offensively as well. The base running has still been fantastic, but along with that, their hitting has really improved as well. Earlier in the game, they were just kind of getting on base, with some singles and then doing their damage there, but now they're really starting to get some huge hits up too. They're firing on all cylinders now.
Yeah, and being their first game of the season, that's a good place to be. Deacons are struggling here a little bit. They're seven runs down. Not an impossibility, though, from what they've seen in some previous innings. But they do need to get a stop here.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Sometimes you never count a team out of a game, but certainly a 7-run deficit is hard to come back from. In other games, though, I think it's a lot tougher than this one because of the offense we've seen from Shanley. I truly think you can't count them out here, like you said. It would be very tough, but with the defensive stand here, they certainly stand a chance in the bottom of the 7th to do some damage and maybe spark a comeback.
Yeah, but we do need to get some pitches across the plate from Nelson.
That's going to be the thing here. And Nelson just trying to finish out her day pitching. She's had a tough day, and she knew she was going to have a tough day. I think the team knew she was going to have a tough day. That was a good strike there across the plate. She's just been a trooper, though. Not a pitcher. She makes no bones about not being a pitcher, but still being able to, with as good an athlete as she is, still be able to come out and give it her best try. Yeah, for sure. And hitting it hasn't been her best day. She's still certainly been strong. She's had some nice hits, but I think a big part of that has been the fatigue from pitching. Not being used to that in the first place. Just such a new. It's been a very, very tough environment for Nelson to be in. They've just asked a lot of her here. Yeah, and being that she has such a young team behind her as well. Strikeout right there, though. That is strikeout number 8 for her. She has had a tremendous game for strikeouts, but just too much in between the strikeouts that has been really difficult to keep
the score down. Now, if we had some other kinds of things happen, this would be a tremendous game for her. But because of the score, it's going to be overshadowed. Her strikeouts are going to be overshadowed by the score.
Yeah, it's really kind of crazy, if you told me she'd have 8 strikeouts, at this point in the game, and that they'd be down, that they'd have allowed 15 runs, I would have thought that's kind of crazy.
Very crazy indeed. No, it's just been very streaky for the Knights and for the Deacons.
Yeah, I mean, just not much more you can say. Overall, I think the Knights have just shown more consistency. I think they started really similar. They were both very inconsistent all over the place, but it was Grand Forks who righted the ship about halfway through here.
Yeah, they were able to get themselves kind of straightened out and the defense going. Nelson struggling a little bit here, keeping it down again. She's had a good pitch, but then has had a couple of high ones. A little bit too high for somebody to chase. If she can just bring it out just a little bit, she might be able to get somebody to chase those high ones.
Well, here she is with the windup, and a bit of an overcorrection that time, puts it in the dirt and will walk Herbeck.
Yeah, and Herbeck has been really dangerous on the bases today. We've had, as the Knights have been very dangerous on the bags, they've been able to take advantage of some slow pitches and some bobbled catches. There's a throw right now, and it hits her. Again, not dodgeball. If it hits you, it's not going to be an out. But that was on base, but the shortstop just was not in a position to make the play.
Yeah, it's a tough break that time as Herbeck picks up a base. And again, the Knights just continue to put the pressure on base running here in the late stages as Drew's going to pop that one back over the cage. Great way to start the season if you're Grand Forks, though.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding. To get 15 runs, there are times when when I played softball, we wouldn't have 15 runs in 5 games.
Yeah, no kidding. That's certainly not uncommon. I mean, that's the thing about baseball, but yeah, 50 or softball. But 15 runs, that's a great way to start the year, starting with some fireworks.
Yeah.
Giving up 8 runs, not as great, although they've shown real improvement over the last few innings.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to get a little bit word in for my event. I'm the forensics coach here at Shanley High School. Student Congress, debate, and speech. Right now we have our speech state tournament coming up on Saturday. We have 13 entries for the state tournament. We qualified. It's going to be a great time, and we've got a lot of kids on the team. Could certainly use a few more, but the kids we have are very dedicated. We had a couple of kids that actually did very well at our national qualifier. We've got 2 national qualifiers. Josh Ward, who's going to nationals, the national speech event in extemp speaking, and Juliet Geffrey is going to the Senate in Fort Lauderdale this summer. It's a 5-day event and an absolute great opportunity for them.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. We'll hold that as this one's flying just into the fence in left field. That's going to bring home Herbeck, and then Giroux's going to hold up at third. And the hits just keep on coming here as Central's really putting the pressure on.
That right there was 6 inches from a home run.
Yeah, we've had a couple like that today, but boy, I think that's got to be the closest that just didn't quite make it.
Yeah, that right there might have been the nail in the coffin. At a 16-8, you would think that the game's well in hand, but the Deacons have been able to be very streaky. But right there, they're coming out to talk to Nelson, just trying to give her a last little buck up here so that she can get through the inning.
Yeah, definitely the case down there as they're having a little conference. And, going back to what you said, Mr. Geffrey, I'm really glad you brought up, your event there, speech. I think there's no doubt, how beneficial that is. I think I was involved for a number of years, and I think there's no doubt that I could not do what I do here without that background. And, again, I'd certainly encourage everyone to check it out. A great event they got going here. A lot of stuff at Shanley. We cover a lot of sports, got a lot of great activities, brought up speech, the fine arts trip, just a lot of good stuff going on as Giroux is going to make it home for another run, 17-8.
Yeah, we had a little errant pitch there. Nelson just, I think, struggling to keep it together here. I think we just need to get out of this game and see what we can do with the next for this last inning.
Yeah, for sure. Just tough to try and get out of here. And no doubt, I think the arm fatigue on Nelson has just got to be really rough here to be pitching this whole game. And these innings have been so long, even the ones where they didn't give up any runs or many runs, they were still really long innings where she had to throw a lot of pitches as another one just gets popped into center field. Linster can't make the grab. She was close. And now rounding second is going to be, I believe that's Carlson, or is that Kuntz, actually? I think that's Kuntz. And so Kuntz with the stand-up triple and another run scores. That's 18-8.
Yeah, that right there was probably the best she could have done at that. She had a good jump on it and missed that ball by inches. And seeing as we needed a spark, that was probably the best thing she could have done there, even though she missed. That if she had gotten it, that would have been a great spark for her team.
Yeah, no doubt, as Nelson's going to put this one high, and that will bring the runner home. Kuntz will score to make it 19-8.
Yeah, right there. That was definitely a fatigue showing on Nelson.
So she's going to take a minute here. I think she's just going to try to think about this one, think it over. Just trying to settle things down, as you saw that one go wild. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good idea. Now she winds up.
There you go.
That's a good
strike. That's a good way to come back on that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's Jagger at bat right now, so not an easy one to get a strike past. She's had a nice day hitting.
Yeah. Shanley TV has definitely been a great thing for Shanley. It's offered a great opportunity for a lot of students to get together and get some work with technology, some work with play-by-play. I consider you, Jed, to be one of the best play-by-play people in the state, and that's not just for a student. That's anybody in the business. I think that you could go get a job anywhere at this point for all the time that you've been able to put into this.
I appreciate that a lot, Mr. Geffrey. It's a good activity, a lot of opportunities for students, a lot of opportunities for teachers. It's been a fun time having you up in the booth today.
Well, I've really enjoyed it, and I hope that I get to come back again. This has been really a treat for me to guest commentate today. Being my first time doing this, I feel a little bit green, but just like Nelson had a few bobbles here and there, but should be able to pull it up a little bit better if I'm invited back again.
No, it's certainly been a good time. I don't think a lot of people would have guessed it's your first time here, Mr. Geffrey. It's been a good time, and don't talk about it like it's over just yet. We got another inning here to go.
We still got half an inning to go yet, and stranger things have happened in softball.
That's true.
I have seen an 11 run inning before. It's unlikely, but I have seen something like that.
Yes, certainly, anything's possible, as that one's going to go wild and the runner will advance to second. And right now, I'm just not sure. It's just really unfortunate. I just don't know what Shanley can do to get out of the inning here because they're just not getting strikes right now.
I think Nelson is she's just fatigued, just worn out emotionally and physically. And it really is, it's not her fault. She was put in a difficult position, but she's still keeping up with it. There was a good throw right there, even though a ball.
Yeah, that was close.
Still, it was certainly better than some of the ones that she's had. So.
Yeah, that was good to just get it in, and it was a close one too, right on the edge there. But now we got runners on first and second, still just one out here, and it's an 11-run lead as that one's gonna pop off the ground. Remke will get that under control, but not before Jagger makes it to third.
Yeah, that was that right there. It popped up off the ground. Rober went in to try and get it as well, and left third base clear, and that was a no-brainer there for Jagger.
So some signals being given there from Remke. Interesting. I think infield's going to make some adjustments based off those. We'll see what Nelson does here as well. She puts that one in. Remke's looking. She stared at second and put it to third. It was a nice play there, trying a little no-looker, but instead it goes past the third baseman Rober there, and Jagger's going to make it home to make it 20-8.
Yeah, we got a little bit of practice to do on some of those no-looks. It looks like we're a little early in the season yet, second game, and a young crew. We got some situations that they need to take care of. And then there's another strikeout.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, obviously not a great inning going here for Nelson. It's been a tough game, but that's strikeout number 9. It's, just when you think the wheels have come off the wagon, she pulls a strikeout, out of nowhere, and then another high pitch.
And then there's another high pitch.
It's the tough part of it. That just really kind of sums up the day there. Again, it's so tough. I mean, you're pulling someone who has not pitched in, I think 5 years that would be, to come and pitch a competitive softball game, and it's not even like, she's had some practice this season. It's the second game of the year.
There's a good hit.
Yeah, that's
but it's
right
at the center fielder.
Linster.
Nice play again there by Linster.
And that will get us to the bottom of the 7th. Nice play made there by Linster, like you said.
I think that's exactly what Nelson needed at this point.
Sure.
She needed to get out of this inning, and now we need the bats to really warm up.
Yeah.
12 hits, 12 runs, not impossible, but the last 2 innings for the Deacons have been rather scant.
Yeah, it's been tough, and surprisingly, offensively, I thought they'd get a few more runs up here in the last couple of innings, but that really has not been the case. Grand Forks Central's just locked down on them, and Central, they were a solid team last year, and they have some decently high expectations coming into this season. I think they've really sent a message here because Shanley's not a pushover of a team. I think they're really showing that they're a big competitor this year.
Yeah, the Knights really have shown up with the horses today.
The one thing, obviously, they have given up 8 runs here, and so defensively there's still some work to be done, tightening things up. But boy, when you've got an offense that can put up 20 runs before in your first game of the season, that puts the state on notice.
Yeah, it does. And I think you're going to have a number of teams that are going to be looking at this, just how they can take advantage of some of their defensive bobbles, but also exactly where they need to pitch the ball in order to keep the 20 runs from going up again.
All right, so it is the bottom of the Deacons order here. Towards the bottom, Lucian up to bat. She's had a very nice day, both sides of the ball, as she takes a big swing and gets some elevation.
And that's in, and then she's taken off to second base.
Yeah, that one, like you said, it's just barely in and misplayed a little bit there, so Lucian will get a double out of it. Down 12 runs. Hey, you know what?
That's exactly what you need to do.
Yeah, it's got to start.
We got to have some good luck like that. We got to have people that are able to put the bat on the ball and just put it into play.
And now the unknown batter here for the Deacons. Again, our apologies. Is listed as Ari Smith, but like you said, I don't believe that is Ari Smith.
No, I do believe Ari Smith is over there in the JV.
Yeah, and do we have this? Looks like Gabe's going to try and find out for us. Again, our apologies to whoever's out there batting. Our knowledge goes as far as the roster, but we'll see if Gabe can figure this out, and we can give you your credit because it's been a pretty nice game. as that one's going to go low. Oh, no, that will be just inside for a strike.
Okay, 1-2.
Snuck in there just towards the end. Rennie Jagger is number 16. That is what I've been told. Rennie, we are just so sorry it took this long to give you your credit, but that is Jagger out there. Very sorry about that one. But it's been a nice game for Jagger.
Yeah, you've had a really nice game there, Jagger. It's been... she's listed
Randy
as
Jagger.
Randy Jagger.
Okay,
okay,
boy.
she's listed as 18 on our JV list.
So Randy Jagger, there's the credit.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Randy, you've had a really excellent game, even though you got out on that one. Back up to Kinley.
And yeah, now Kuhneman up there for the Deacons. She's had a nice debut here, I'd say, for an 8th grader. And Jagger, another 8th grader. So, boy, it's a young lineup for the Deacons today.
A lot of young players.
I mean, between Jagger, Kuhneman, they're both 8th graders. Then you got Lucian in there as a 7th grader. Schanzenbach starting as a 9th grader. And then that huge crop of sophomores.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, feels like a bit of a rebuilding year, losing a lot of starters off last year's team. Not necessarily starting from scratch, that's for sure. You've got pieces like Swanson and Nelson, but there's a lot of holes to be filled with some pretty inexperienced players here.
Yeah, that was foul off to the left. She bounced that one out, and kind of a chopper of a hit, but she's sitting at 2-1 now.
That pitch a little high. Oh, it did sneak in at the end. That is a good call. It looked like it was going high. I think that's what Kuhneman thought, and then it gets in there.
Yeah, that one was definitely right at the top range.
So it's a 2-2 count now with 1 out.
I think especially when the game is running this long, I think the umpire is willing to give those close ones a little bit more of a strike.
Yeah, I think that's definitely true. And worth noting here on deck is Linster, so unless we see some sort of double play off of this, we will get to see Linster again, and she's been just fantastic. And now with that strikeout, it is Linster up to bat.
Is that would be only strikeout number 2 or number 3 for?
I think it's just number 2.
Number 2 for the Knights. I guess I missed how the previous player got out. How Randy Jagger got out.
Yeah, that is the third actually.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So it's been 3 strikeouts. That's a good number for Giroux. She started the game pretty rough. She had some hiccups, but I've been really impressed. Obviously, the defensive unit as a whole's gotten a lot better, but Giroux especially, it's not too common that pitchers just get better and better as the game goes on. Usually they start to fade, but she's been pretty strong.
Yeah, she's been able to settle down and really get into the groove, and that's really what you want your pitcher to do. Just get in the groove, be able to throw some pitches, especially in softball. There's a good hit. It's up and over the
just
head.
Over the glove. So Linster's going to advance to second. An error there that she didn't see. And
that right there, the sun is very bright. It's such a nice day outside, and that's been a benefit, I think, in some cases for the Deacons, that the outfield has not been able to see the ball come in when they put it up so high.
Yeah, exactly. They've had to kind of look up into the sun, especially as the day's gone on. It's kind of getting into that right spot. And so it's been a tough day for the outfielders to track some of those. This one's popped up, tracked down there. That might do it, and it will. McEnroe.
And that's the game. That right there, Shanley Deacons final. Shanley 9 and the Grand Forks Central Knights 20.
Yeah, that's a pretty big score there for Grand Forks Central, and it was really competitive throughout most of this game. Unfortunately for Shanley, that Knight offense just exploded in the later innings, and they just weren't really able to match that production.
Yeah, they had just bat after bat, and they were very aggressive on the bags today, and that aggression did show in when they were able to take advantage of some errant pitches, and were able to get quite a few runs off the good running, bag running that they had.
So the Deacons dropped to 0-2 on the season with a little bit of work to do here. Grand Forks Central, meanwhile, starts off their season 1-0. Before we go here, Mr. Geffrey, just want to say thanks a lot for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
Well, thank you, Jed. Thanks for the invite, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about some of the other things we have going on here at Shanley. And thanks again.
Absolutely.
And hope to be able to see you guys again.
Yeah, certainly. Would love to have you back in the booth sometime soon. For tonight, though, for Mr. Geffrey and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo, Shanley Deacons 9 at Grand Forks Central Knights 20. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.